Hello.
Oh no!
I should have known better. That's a classic Jenny move.
Classic Jenny move. It's number one classic Jenny move.
Hi, everybody. And welcome to episode
6?
6 of Housebound Adventures or Adventuring or Advent.
Advent.
Christmas. Because it's Christmas. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a good week. We got some 25 emotes shared. Holy shit.
Thank you all for the biddies. And also for this emote.
I
Look
have
at that little
haha ginger cat.
I have a baby.
Wait, I think that goes with the other emote I unlocked.
Haha baby.
Yes! I'm the shrug now.
Oh my god!
Nice.
Oh, that elf
I want the
cute.
shrug. You know what I got instead of the shrug last time? I got a nervous one, and I was like, "Why are you calling me out on my anxiety?" Even Twitch knows.
I like the big
There
cat's
it is.
huge, but also Mongo cat,
Oh, it's cute.
little mongo cat.
Also, I have this one. It's a
it's
turtle
too
dove.
Oh,
That's yelping.
yes, of course it is a turtle dove.
Yeah,
Why
duh.
do they all start with haha? What does haha stand for?
I think that's the event.
It's a
Ha-ha event.
It's
haven't.
something to do. It's something. It's part of the name of the event. I think. I don't know what it is. What's it called? It's the haha holidays.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Yes. Doc's
Somebody
not
at Twitch
excited.
needs somebody more clever around to make up names. I distribute.
I'm just you click on the little bits button and it tells you what it is. Hi. Well, anyway, hi everybody. I hope you're doing really well.
I have proof of that, Adam. You can't escape.
I was gonna say.
Let's play some
Dur
Dur
and
and
Dur.
Dur. So what happened on the last episode of Dur and Dur was that we spent a huge amount of time in town. We started off with waking up. There was a little bit of breakfast had kind of shoved in your face before Randall was like, I gotta go! I'm having some problems with my leg. Understandably, Randall was very concerned about waking up and noticing that his condition had gotten worse and that he had a gunky leg. Was that the way we described it? Gunky?
Well, gunky, mate.
It was gunky.
Well, gunky.
Because you had, what's it called? Did I call it the rotting slough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let me scroll.
Yeah, it is that deliciously named disease. Rotting slough. Beautiful.
A delicacy.
A delicacy. Yes, so you have contracted the rotting slough from your adventures in the sewers, which is just not great. Isn't Randall supposed to be recapping? Oh, well, Randall could recap.
Why is Randall supposed to be recapping?
He's taking such good notes.
No.
No.
You don't want to recap?
No.
Eating his cheesy poofs.
I got my cheesy poofs to eat. All right. Okay. So
They're peanuts, actually.
How could you? I'm in the vicinity.
she could die over the internet.
Die. No.
But you realized that you had some serious health issues and that they were only going to get worse. So you, Atticus, help! What do? And he was like, you could go to the Temple of Timora, or you could go have a wee chat with the local herbalist called Honu, which is exactly what you did. You ran out the door before you could eat your breakfast. Atticus then sat there waiting patiently to eat your breakfast if you didn't return in time. You legged it down into town, and after a little while, knocking at the door of Honu, he opened. Realized Honu is a big old turtle boy. And he speaks very slowly. So I will not recap in real time what happened. Everyone's very happy with that, especially someone who was in chat last week was not a big fan of Honu. But he is the local herbalist, and he said, well, I actually need a favor. And it just so happens that the favor that I need involves picking an ingredient specifically that will help with the disease you have. So he said, meet me in the town square or the village square about 11 o'clock, just before midnight. We'll scurry on down to my herb stores, pick your ingredients, and everything will be a-okay. He did also mention that those herb stores, unfortunately, are blossom very rarely and only at midnight. And when they do blossom, because they are so rare, they tend to attract the attention of ne'er-do-wells and other people who might want to harvest his goodies. The Killer's Instinct is the name of the blossom that you'll be looking for. And it looks like a rose that is dripping with blood. He has put the seeds he has sown for the Killer's Instinct, he has put in multiple different patches because they are very picky about where they grow. So the idea is that he would put them in different places, and then he would hire an adventuring party to come with him and pick them from the different patches at the same time. That way, hopefully getting as many of his crop as possible, assuming that they all blossom. And you guys were like, Brill, sounds good. You were a bit concerned that might put you in a bit of a rough spot with the adventuring guild that you've joined here in Nesmith, because it seems a bit like a quest. But you were like, well, we're not really getting a reward for anything like that. We're not being paid for it. It's not actually a quest. We didn't pick it up from the board, so we're okay. Went on to the adventuring guild itself to see if there were any other quests lying around, and you saw two. You saw one about Miller's Bluff to the south, by Linus Cardin, who is a local tanner, asking for somebody to go looking for some info. And you also got one from Bart, or otherwise known as Bartholomew Tankleton, and his friend Phyllis Kendletop and Redgar Ran.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who had, unfortunately, woken up in the woods naked with all their stuff stolen. Unharmed, but naked. And they all happened to be in the tavern when it happened. And that seemed dodgy to you. So you went to the tavern after going to the marketplace. I just realized you went to the marketplace first to ask around and see if you could find where Bart was. You found Bart, who seemed like a nice
very
enough
cross
fella.
apple sales people.
He was nice though. Bart was nice. We like Bart. Bart was as helpful as he could possibly be. Who said, yeah, I'll take you to the place in the forest where we all woke up if you like, but I'm busy today, so I'll do it tomorrow. And you guys were like, all right, okay, fine. Let's see what else we can do. Did a little bit more investigating, went to the tavern, and had a little bit of a poke around the tavern. After a little bit of a poke, you had a bit of a chat with Golgar and realized that maybe he's not quite as in control of the magical self-run tavern as you might expect, and that he got the tavern from his predecessor. His predecessor was named Leiden. You started to have a couple of thoughts about wonder what the source of magic is for the tavern, and we ended the story there. We have not the story, the episode there. You guys had an evening with some drinks, didn't we? We just had some nice evening with drinks, all the way from lunchtime until about 10 p.m. when suddenly Oro, there was some strange kind of mist went over her eyes. She kind of like glazed over her facial expression, and then she just got up and said,
See you later, fuckos. Which is even better in my sick voice.
See you later, fuckos, and
Okay.
she left. She just started leaving through the door. So we start today's session with Oro. Oro, you all you remember is that there was a moment where your eyelids felt so heavy that you couldn't keep them open. And after having just received a drink from Golgar that was very strong and really, you're still feeling it in your throat.
Terrible. Yeah, it's really in my throat. It
Oh,
won't go
oh.
away.
Oh my god! Wow, such a good voice for your
Such
character.
a good
today. Wow.
yeah. That's me.
Your eyes felt so heavy that you kind of you blinked them for a second, and when you woke them up, or when you opened your eyes up, you felt really good. You just felt so good that you just needed to go for a walk right this second. You just felt all you do is spending all your time wasting it in this tavern. You know, there are places to go, adventures to be had elsewhere, like right this second, like right now at 10 p.m. Things to do. So you get yourself out of your seat, and you just, you know what? These guys are wasting my time. See you later, fuckos. And you start walking towards the door.
Yes.
Everything in the world around you just seems vibrant and colorful and so exciting. It just feels like you just need to get going. There's a part of your brain that feels like you're in a dream. You know, when you're kind of like you've had dreams, maybe. Has your character have dreams? We've discussed this before.
Yes.
I feel like we discussed this before. Yeah.
I think yes.
But you know when you're in a dream, you're like, this is a dream, but not so much so that you could control the dream. Where like you kind of just go along with it, and the character of you plays out whatever the dream was going to do. But in the back of your mind, you know it's a dream.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of state that you're in right now. You're walking, you know, something seems a little bit weird, but you're okay. Like maybe it's just you fell asleep at the table. You know, you don't feel like you are actually up and at and walking right now. You feel like maybe you're just slumped over at the table with these guys. Neurally and Randall, however, we've got about an hour until you said you would go and meet Honu and tend to his crop, as it were. You were going to go meet him, then walk to the forest where he's been spreading his seed.
Hopefully these stories aren't linked.
We avoided it for so long.
But right now, you've got other concerns. You did spend a little bit of time today passing notes around, hoping that the whatever force inhabits the tavern was going to reply to you and give you some more information. You got a couple of little bits about it, and a little bit of information about whomever or whatever is making people leave and go to the forest and have their bits stolen from them. But right now you have a slightly more pressing concern. You've just seen Oro stand up, say, "See you later, fuckos," and start walking out.
I turn to Randall and I'm like, is that what they say at the circus?
I don't think I've ever been to the circus.
Neither have I. I think we should follow. And I start to like get up.
Yeah, and Randall just like quickly puts all the stuff away. So many things.
I don't want to leave without Randall. So while he's like shoving stuff in his bag, can I take a look around and see if anyone looks like obviously suspicious or whatever?
Give me a perception roll.
Before we go, Fuel, thank you for redeeming a D6 and saying help for the sick gobbo. Sick gobbo appreciates it. Thank you.
Even see what a roll. Why are you doing this? Roll 20.
14. You got a 14. There is nothing that you see that is particularly, you know, that nobody here has caught your eye. Nothing seems afoot.
Like
Cloud and egg.
But that might be because you're focused on, you know, also keeping half an eye on where Oro's going.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
So out the door, you manage to keep up just about with Oro. Thankfully, she's quite short and Although she has a brisk pace on, she's not running, so it's not a big task for you. Oro, the sky is wonderful tonight. It's really, really nice. You think that if you got a higher vantage point, you could get a better view. I mean, there are some torches out and around the town, you know, that's kind of like light pollution that's kind of not letting you see the stars.
Terrible cities.
And I mean, terrible cities. This tiny village in the middle of nowhere. Oh, it's awful. It's terrible cities.
Pollution.
But you've decided you just want to have a bit of a stroll. You're going to go to the north. You're going to go up this lovely little hill that kind of takes you up the cliff, and just see what the forest is like at this time of night. Is this fortnight?
Hey, Dot. It is fortnight, yes.
And that's just, you know, that's your plan. You've noticed that your pals are tagging along now, and to the best of your, like, in your mind, that's just, they're just trying to tag along because you're so cool.
Obviously, yes.
They're trying to tag along because you've just got this amazing idea, and they're like, well, yeah, all right. Of course you're going to follow me. I'm amazing. And to the north we go. We take a couple extra, you know, minutes winding around this path that leads up past this large house at the top of the hill.
If we're like, Oro, where are you going?
Yeah.
What happens?
She does not reply.
Okay.
Or you can hear noises coming from behind you, but they're more of a nuisance than anything else. And you're like, oh, no, I'm not gonna. No nuisances today. No nuisances. I've got this wonderful world in front of me. I don't have to deal with any of this. So on you go. You got a spring in your step. You're feeling pretty good. We're walking up that hill. You find there's no problems coming up this hill. And usually, I mean, this is the kind of hill that most people would struggle with at least a little bit, you know, get a little bit out of breath. But no, you are pacing. You are good. You are up that hill with no problems at all. That being said, you are, again, the length of your legs are quite short. So the drain that this would usually have on you is much greater than it does already. These guys, you're okay. Pretty much walking up this hill at the same rate. Get to the top of the hill. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Randall's just getting frustrated because, like, if he didn't have his dodgy leg, he'd be able to easily, like, catch up. His dodgy leg, he just can't walk as fast as he normally does.
At the top of the hill, you see that this is this large house up here. This is the house of the mayor of the village. You see that because there is a signpost outside that says Mayor Winthrop. That is posted.
This one right here?
Around. That's the one.
Okay.
It says Mayor Winthrop on it. There are some torches burning, or candles burning on the inside of the windows, but they are mostly shuttered. It's a grand house. It seems to be a log cabin, but it is very well made, and you can kind of smell some food has been coming through the window. And it looks nice and warm in there, unlike out here in the night. It's quite dark. But following Oro's got better ideas. You can see that this path is leading up. And up is good because up means closer to that beautiful sky up there. And that's where she wants to go. She wants to get a nice panoramic view of just the valley. So onward she goes. At a point during along this path that leads off onto the main road out of Nesmith, we find that there is a small opening in the trees either side of the path. Oro, ever looking for adventure, just on a whim decides that she would like to walk down there instead. She's pretty certain that you guys aren't going to follow, because her original idea, the idea that she thinks that you two are really into, is following that road. So she's going to go down here. You guys are going to continue on. You're going to go your separate ways. Everything's going to be fine. Everyone's going to be happy. So, all right. Down this little path on your own. Randall, Neurally, Oro has taken a sharp left into the tree line. There is nothing in that tree line that looks alluring to you at all. It looks borderline scary.
Oro, stop! Oh no!
How's Randall?
He's chewing.
getting like more concerned, and also being like, we also need to like get back to, save my life so I don't die.
How long have we been walking?
Luckily, not a long time. It's been probably about 10 minutes.
Okay.
For this amount of time, but she's ducked into the tree line. What are you guys doing?
Following.
Yeah.
Following? Okay, all right, okay. Well, into the tree line you go. The path that Oro is now following does appear to have been tread before. However, it's not a dirt path. This is a path through the tree line. So she's following gaps between trees more than she is anything else. You can see that there are some broken sticks and stuff like that, which would usually require some kind of survival check. But it's very obvious that someone has stumbled through here. Whoever's come through here before has taken absolutely no effort to be stealthy about it. After a little while, Oro, you come to a clearing. The clearing is in this small copse of trees that, well, I suppose the clearing is not a copse of trees. That would be the opposite. You're in a very dense, this is an anti-copse. You're in a very dense forest, but you managed to find a small clearing. This small clearing is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. The light of the stars is shining down just on you. You can see the moon over the crest of the trees. And it is just gorgeous here. Absolutely wonderful. And you have a sit on the floor and you just kind of look up, and then you lie down on your back and you just stare up at the sky with your arms and your legs out, and it's gorgeous. You see the figure of some kind of bird flying over, and being of this is maybe the third time I've said it, of a small stature.
We get it. I'm small.
large flying figures often give you a moment for pause. But in this situation, you're chill. You're happy. Life is good right now.
Great. That's great.
Amazing. So, Nearly and Randall, you've managed to follow her to this extent. You're now currently in the tree line. She is ahead of you. You see her sit down on the ground and lay back.
I'm gonna try and just stay in the tree line.
Yeah.
Not be like, just see what happens.
Could you roll me stealth checks, please?
I'm gonna guidance myself. Can I do that?
I mean, yeah.
Ooh. Okay, 14 plus 15.
Okay. Well, you're pretty confident that you are currently well hidden in the tree line. As you are sat here, are we watching Oro, or are we looking around, looking at the skies, watching the tree line? What's going on?
I'm watching Oro and in the clearing, because I'm assuming at this point that either something's going to come and take all her stuff, or it's going to convince her to like leave it behind. So I'm watching to see what goes on in there.
Sure. How about Randall?
Watching the tree line, see. Expecting like something or someone to appear, maybe.
In which case, please give me perception rolls.
20.
Not 20.
Okay. Not 20. Neurally, you see something in the tree line opposite, on the other side of the clearing, kind of move in the bush, for a very short moment. You can see the silhouette of a figure, and it steps out of the tree line for a moment. It is a small humanoid.
Just grab Randall's shoulder and point.
What's that?
In the dark, it steps forward, pacing towards Oro. It takes very little time. It gets very close to Oro, in fact, and then it starts to kind of look over her just at distance. You know, we're talking about like maybe 6 feet away, just to see if there are any obvious things on her. She looks like it's searching without getting too close.
What do we do?
I'm going to hold a sacred flame. Like get ready to cast it. And if they touch her, I want to step out and like tell them to move back, or they'll regret it or something like that. Like she's not gonna think of something cool to say probably.
Okay.
So when Randall's like, "What do we do?" I just like look at you, and I like you like half cast the spell, and I'm just like.
Okay.
I don't want to talk because I don't want to be loud. I don't want it to hear me because I don't know who it is.
Oh, can I get ready to dash?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the same. Like if it actually touches Oro, then I'll dash out the tree line up to it.
Okie dokie. Then I would like one more stealth roll from the most of you.
Oh, that would do. Okay.
Yep, that's about right.
Okay. So against the perception check of this individual, unfortunately, neurally, you appear to have caught its eye. They, looking over Oro's body as if they were looking to kind of evaluate whether there was anything that they could steal, they catch the glimmer, perhaps, of you preparing your spell, thinking that you had managed to cover it, perhaps with a part of your attire or a bush. It appears that perhaps you've managed to just spark a small kind of glimmer of light as you are preparing to cast. And unfortunately, the individual immediately starts and dashes into the bush line, into the tree line behind. Are we getting reactions from you guys?
Yeah, if they start to run, I'm going to shoot them.
You're gonna shoot at him?
Yeah, with the sacred flame. It's just a cantrip. It's not a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to roll your attacks, then go for it. Randall, are you sprinting up to it?
Not if it's like backing down.
Okay, it's definitely running.
So dex save, DC 13.
It succeeds. So with a, how would you describe your sacred flame? Are we talking like a bolt of fire? Are we talking like a pillar of fire?
So I kind of like step out into this clearing, and under the light of the moon, I'm just like, stop! And as I say that, my hands go forward, and it's like at the end of the wand, there's like a tiny pinprick of like silvery light, and it like streaks across at them like almost like a little firework. And if it had hit them, then it would have been like a, but no.
Cool. Well, unfortunately, that does just about miss. Perhaps because of their smallish size, they kind of darted through, and as they were literally booking it for the tree line. It wasn't like a slow jog. It wasn't like, come hither. It was just a fucking run, like an absolute like booking it run. And just gets into the tree line as fast as it possibly can. You can hear the rustle of twigs and leaves for a short while afterwards, but after that, they are absolutely gone. You think you could maybe continue chasing after them, but with the density of this forest and their stature, it might be difficult to track them.
Could I tell like what they were wearing, what color their hair was, what color their eyes were? Like I have dark vision, so like could I tell whether they're like masculine or feminine?
So you could tell that it was a masculine, smaller figure. But we're talking like maybe 5 foot rather than like 3 foot.
Okay, so they're not a small creature.
Not a small creature. The grass in this clearing is quite tall. So you've lost maybe a foot of vision on them just from the height of the grass, which also gives you it gives Oro quite a lot of cover.
Yeah.
But there aren't very many kind of features that you've managed to pick out.
Even if I can see like it's bright light.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they have like a hood over their face, or like was there like
there was like there wasn't any particular like discernible characteristics of their clothing. It didn't look like they had like a brooch on or like some fancy whatever. It looked like there was some bog standard straight up normal clothing.
Like when the piece are like describe the person and they're like average height, male, white, brown hair kind of thing.
Unfortunately, yeah,
like,
it was just like, you know,
okay.
they were wearing some commoner clothing. Commoner clothing with a hood. And because of that, it made it difficult to kind of get any descriptive features of them. They had a male posture and like shape of body. But that's pretty much all that you can get. The tall grass is where the Velociraptor lives.
The Silver Tree redeemed a D6 bonus and said to help with future sneaks and aims. So I assume that's to Nurali, given the sneak and the aim.
I definitely need all the help I can get. Oop, one inspiration. Do you think we can wake her up safely? I look at Randall.
Oh, we can see if she's woken up or if she's back to normal. At least.
Or you suddenly come to. It was conscious in your mind that it was a dreamlike state that you were in. So when you come to, you expect to still be in the tavern. But you are still there, as if in your dream, staring up into the stars. And you're not upset about it. It's a really beautiful night. It's a very clear sky. There are loads of like, I mean, you didn't see the guy come up to you and start like evaluating you. And you saw a streak across the sky from the sacred flame. But as far as you were aware, that was a star, shooting star.
Okay, well, if I wake up and realize that I'm not in the tavern anymore, I would stand up and just be like trying to set her functions. Where am I? Assumably, in a lot of tall grass is the answer to my question.
It's about halfway up on you.
Oh, okay, fine. So I can see other people.
Yeah, you can see everyone else, but it's like it's not low on you.
Okay. So I see Nurali and Randall, right?
Over here. All right.
Oh. Where am I?
North of the town.
I thought we were in the tavern.
You said see your fuckos and then you ran off. We assumed it was a circus thing.
Yeah.
Not specifically. I thought I was having a dream.
I think we know what's been happening to the villagers now. The townspeople?
What happened?
Somebody came out of the trees and started looking you over. We tried to make them stop, but they saw us. Well, they saw us and we tried to make them stop, and then they ran away and we couldn't catch them.
Pussy little bitch.
I look at Randall. Is that a circus thing?
I don't think that one is.
That is a circus thing. That one. So clever. With my broken voice as well.
Needs to be someone's ringtone. I wish you could get notifications for people who message you on Discord or something. So every time Jenny messages me, it goes, "Pussy little bitch."
Go.
I guess we better head back to town. I don't know what we'll find around here, but we can take a look around. We just don't have much time before we have to meet Hano.
Maybe we could wait on the road by the clearing another night.
Sounds good.
See if someone else goes down there. Or we could bring Parsnip if he can sniff anything.
That's a good idea.
Have to ask Atticus.
Any excuse to get Parsnip more involved is a win from me. Parsnip's like, it's like bringing Casimir in, except Casimir can't talk and is cuter.
Far way more cuddly than Casimir.
Exactly. This is all I have to RP is cuteness all the time. That's great for me. Easy peasy. I come back to a sniff enemy. So, what is the plan?
Take a quick look around, see if there's anything that got left behind or footprints or anything that tells us anything. And if not, after a quick glance, we need to head back to town, I think.
So about 10 minutes it took you to get to just past Mayor Winthrop's house. It took you about another 10 minutes to get to here. So you've got 40 minutes left in your hour before having to meet with Honu.
Yeah, so maybe just take like 5 minutes to look around tops. Like,
yeah.
I don't think that we're going to find much, so it's more of like a cursory glance.
Okay, would you want to give me an investigation check?
I would be happy to help somebody else investigate. I think Oro's pretty good at that, and I'm gonna.
I'm not that great.
I know you were kind of dreaming. Well, I've got a +0, so.
Oh, I've got a 1.
Yeah. Wait, is it Randall who's good at investigation, or are we all?
Yes, on the campaign where Tom starts to use investigation more.
What order were those things decided in?
Come on now. Come on.
I'm gonna have to take the observant feat now. If I help and cast guidance, because you roll with advantage and and add the d4. That's how the help act.
Is that a no, or is
that's a yes? No, you can do
okay.
that. Do you have to have proficiency to help, or is that only in things that is that only things that require proficiency to do? I think that's the thing. I think that's only when things require proficiency. Like, yeah, for example, if someone was picking a lock and you aren't proficient with thieves tools, you couldn't help.
I can't give a brewer tips on how to brewing, but I can
exactly
because I know how to look at things. I'm just not as good at it.
Okay, so we've got a grand total of 20 on investigation.
That's right.
That's right. So you have it's not a rule as written, but often DMs will make that call. Oh, really? A group working together, so they're a well-rounded team. Boring. No, so you do have a 5 minutes is not a huge amount of time, but you are very observant. You do a very good job of combing the area as you get, you feel like you might be a little bit rushed, but you feel like you've got a pretty good lay of the land. You can see the route that you walked in on, like I said before, has been not well trodden, but it has been traversed in the not too distant past. Team anti-Sherlock. I love you all deeply, and I'm here for
Team
deep anti-Sherlock.
Team anti-Sherlock.
What the fuck, fingers? You can't even get that on autocorrect.
But you do manage to you basically illuminate this pathway, thinking, okay, definitely people have come through here. They've not been stealthy or anything like this. There's nothing here necessarily for people to come to. There's no real reason apart from this small clearing. And you find nothing really of any significant concern, apart from there is a small raccoon.
Knew it.
That has perished.
Oh.
It does not appear to be of natural causes.
Oh.
Would you like to give me a nature roll or a medicine roll?
Oops, I didn't mean to click that. I was trying to scroll.
Decept the raccoon.
So this will have to be for Oro.
Okay.
I did a medicine check.
Okay.
Oh!
19.
These rolls. Everyone got excited by Tom Raccoon voice, and then everyone got super sad.
Raccoon voice.
Shatter 420 Smoke. What a name.
Thank you, Holly.
So you find that there is a raccoon, and unfortunately, this raccoon has perished, not of natural causes. It has not been hit by any kind of weapon of any kind. It appears that it did not die of old age, as it is a relatively young-looking raccoon, as raccoons go. But it looks like perhaps something sucked the life out of it.
Guys, there's a dead raccoon over here.
Cool.
Seems
Don't
to
touch
have
it.
had the life sucked out of it.
This to you is a weird thing to have seen, but it isn't necessarily something that is like insanely out of this
Mental.
world. Like you have, it's not something you'd be like, oh my god, a lich has been here. Fuck. It's more of a like, so something. There's clearly something. Give me an Arcana check.
Jeez, he's giving me all these rolls, so one of them I'll fail.
And yet you're doing so well. So I keep throwing them at you.
Oh
my god! Is it not better that I throw the rolls at you than Katie, who inexorably roll a 4 every time?
I'll have a +4 and still somehow roll a 4.
Unless you're trying to deceive a dead raccoon.
That was very good. So you're quite certain that this is something to do with the necromantic arts. Whether or not this was something that has whether it's some kind of necromancy spell or something that is of the negative plane, it seems to you that this is magical.
Guys, this is on some necromancy shit.
Oh shit.
Circus talk. It's evil.
I know what necromancy is. I didn't know that was circus talk also.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
I wonder if that person was going to... Everyone else has come back alive, but maybe they still have had some of their life force depleted.
Or is very concerned about this and is just staring at the raccoon. Like, that could have been me. I'm basically the size of a raccoon.
Who wouldn't have let them do that to you?
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for following me here. It's a circus talk dictionary. I'm on it.
It should be part of Randall's diary.
Circus talk dictionary.
My party member Oro is very interesting. She's teaching me all kinds of new words.
Pussy little bitch was what she taught me today.
Oh my god. I'm taking off my hoodie 1 second.
Oh, lame. Now, if you pay for our premium D&D service, you'll get Tom taking off his hoodie.
Oh, it's the shirt.
Let's sacrifice Toby.
That's a Texas shirt.
That's a Texas shirt. And the best bit is I've been watching The Office US again, and there's a character on there called Toby that everyone hates. Anyway, right.
What continuity? Anyway.
So, apart from sacrificing Toby,
I guess time to head back.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it takes you another 20 minutes to get back to town. It's a nice, like I said before, it really is a really lovely evening. You get to the top of the I suppose cliff is a little bit of an extreme word here, but it's a very steep hill, there's plateau above the valley. And so at the south end of Nesmith, if you look at the bottom there is, oh no, looks like I've cut some of the tiles off. There we go. You can see that there is another kind of small cliff and a little waterfall that goes out down to Hey, Snorts.
Snorts, thank you for subscribing for 30 months. Oh my god, that's a lot of
Long ass
months.
time.
Cool.
There is another kind of cliff almost that looks down onto the valley below. You can see a small distance away. Miller's Bluff. You can see the water mills that are attached to this river, and a dense forest that surrounds pretty much all of the area. You can see that there are some flickering lights in the town below you, but mostly you just see this endless canvas of flickering lights in the sky, and the moon shining very, very brightly. This sight is just it just fills you with determination. And everyone who doesn't have inspiration gets a point now.
God damn it.
Shit. Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Did you already have one?
Yeah, I already had one.
Note to self: give inspiration points when everyone already has inspiration points
Yeah.
to make it seem like I'm really generous.
I used mine to roll with advantage on the wisdom roll. The wisdom save.
Yes, I remember that. Yes, you did. Yes. Right. Well, before you is the village. You make your descent down the pathway, and you find yourself once again in the center of the village. We're making sure to be where we expect Honu to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shortly after 11 o'clock, Honu arrives. It is not a surprise to you that he has arrived slowly.
But you'd have thought he would have left with more time. The count.
You can see that he and his massive shell are accompanied by a walking stick and a
Magical walking stick.
just a regular old walking stick, as far as you're aware, and a basket on his arm. He walks towards you. The town at the moment is, well, quiet and everywhere, apart from the Cold Talon Inn, which is, as always, quite lively, though they are quite quiet past about 11 o'clock. So from about this time, people have been pouring out of the tavern and making their way back to their homes. Honu walks up to each of you. Hello.
Good evening.
How was your day?
Eventful.
Yep.
Well, you can tell me about it on the way. I'm speeding up my slow NPC character speak. You know he talks slow. I don't need to drag it out. And
My immersion.
No, it's fine. No, I'm kidding.
you start walking, and you start walking up the same hill that you came from. You make your way up the crooked path, and it takes a little extra time because our aged turtle friend. But when you get to the top of the hill where Mayor Winthrop's house is, he takes a left, and he starts walking towards the river. He gets to the river and he wades through it. He has absolutely no problem with this. Being as heavy as he is, he has absolutely no issue. And as turtly as he is, he walks along the riverbed. This being, he's about 6 foot, and he walks underneath the surface and comes out on the other side. You can just about see his head go underneath it.
This is inappropriate for the size of our party.
Wait, what? Inappropriate for the size of the party?
Yeah. Because I'm not very tall. Aura's not very tall.
I'm average height.
Hey, chaotic grandpa. What a
Whoa,
great
what a
name.
name!
I love
Oh
That's
my
the best name
goodness.
ever.
Chaotic grandpa.
How wide is the river at this point?
So at this part of the river, it's probably about 10 foot across.
Is it quickly moving?
I mean, you're at the top of a waterfall. This isn't a like, it's not rapids.
Good news.
It
But
ain't
it's
slow,
mildly
either.
dangerous.
I mean, it's mildly dangerous, yeah.
Which direction does he head? Does he keep going straight?
Yeah, he waits on the other side. Come on.
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself and try to walk/swim across. We'll see what happens, I guess.
You want to walk across the water?
Like walk until I have to swim and then swim for, because sometimes like if his head
No, yeah, okay.
disappears, then
Yeah,
it could just be for like a tiny bit, you know,
Yeah,
like maybe there's a dip and there's a bank or whatever.
Sure. Okay. Are you going to go first, and everyone's going to take it in turns, or what's the plan here?
I mean, Randall's considering just jumping it. Little running start and little jump.
Wait, how
How's
does
Aura feel
jumping
about all
work
this?
again?
It's like
It's like your.
it's D&D.
It's something like your strength.
If you
Adam
run
knows.
at least
Where's
10
Adam?
feet,
High jump.
yeah, Adam.
Long
Jumping
jump.
is
When you make a
Jumping.
long jump, you cover a number of feet up to your strength score if you move it at
14.
least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump.
Easy peasy.
Half if
Yo-Yo
you make a
Putty Tap.
standing one.
Another
What?
great name.
What a
Some of
great
these
name.
names tonight.
Yo-Yo Putty Tat. Long jump is strength score. High jump is strength modifier. No, that doesn't seem right.
Half strength score or full if you move. You.
Standing. Yeah. Standing. Yeah.
I'm not saying
But you're
that.
doing a long jump. So that is
I'm gonna run,
your strength score.
which
Okay.
is 14.
That sounds like a better idea, actually.
And I've got my stick, so if it goes terribly wrong, I'm gonna like put my quarterstaff into the water and like do a backflip pole vault.
I'm sorry. How long is this? Is this stick?
It's long enough that it'll hit the bottom with most of me out of the water.
Right. Okay.
But I'm
It's
hoping
happening.
just to jump it in one go.
High jump is 5 plus strength score. Sorry. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have rope? I do. How about you jump across with the end of a rope and I'll hold it and Oro can, or could you think you can jump it, Oro?
We could throw her.
I don't know about that.
She's
I
an
mean,
ex-circus performer.
My acrobatics is
That's a
great.
good point.
True.
My strength, however.
So we
not
can make a
great.
tightrope. We can make a tightrope and you can just walk it.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
do that.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna fall straight into the river and die. That's what's gonna happen now.
you're using your quarterstaff.
only as like a precaution. So I'll run with it,
Precautionary. Okay.
but I'll try and jump it in one go. But if I'm starting to go into the river, then I'll use it to try and like spring myself across.
Right. Okay.
Pole
Okay.
vault.
Pole vault. Excellent. Okay. Right. Well, I'm going to ask you to.
I don't need to roll.
To give. I know you don't. At your DM's option, you must succeed on a DC 10 strength athletic check to clear a low obstacle, such as a hedge or a wall. Otherwise, you hit it.
Athletics.
When you land in distant terrain, you must succeed on a DC 10 acrobatics check to land on your feet. Otherwise, you land prone. Well, we're not doing anything in combat, so I'm not going to expect you to do anything like that. But I would like you. Wait, so you're using the stick to
So I'm just
start
gonna-
with, or you're using it? You're just holding it loose, and then if you get too close to the ground, you'll use it
Yeah.
then. Right. Okay. Well, I won't make you do it. Let's check then. You managed to get to the other side with ease. Actually, you make it look a little bit too easy. Are you doing it holding the rope? So you've got one side.
Yeah,
on.
I've got the rope as well.
Okay. Or you land on the other side. You definitely leap from one side to the other, making it look incredibly easy.
Well, it is.
Really, very, very easy. Like, I wonder if these guys think it's so easy that they could do it as well. Jenny.
Looking at the river. No.
Okay, well then I'm gonna maybe put my quarterstaff, like put that into the ground, and then loop the rope around it a couple times, and then kind of like hold it and the rope, so it's kind of like it's like digging in.
Okay.
Ooh,
Sure.
I see you do that, and I have a quarterstaff too. So I do the same thing and like wrap it around the other end and dig it in. And I look at Aura like,
Hell yeah.
Alright. Well, directly in front of you is a. I mean, how tall is this? How tall is this rope? Are you making it completely taut, or are you giving it some slack?
do you want to walk across, or do you want to like pull yourself through the river?
I want to walk across.
Then it's gonna be like tight.
Right. Okay. And that's the feeling that you've got as well, Randall.
Mhm.
Okay, excellent. Well, in which case, please, with advantage, roll an athletics check.
It's gonna go wrong. I can feel it in my bones.
Oh wait, but wouldn't it be acrobatics? Yay!
Yeah,
Yeah, I got it.
24.
Okay,
Did I
you
not
said
say acrobatics?
athletics.
Did
No,
I?
You said athletics. Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck me!
I was like,
I heard
sorry.
acrobatics because I said acrobatics. So.
I meant to say
Oh.
acrobatics. This is
Okay.
like
This is like the
Ad-
definition
Ad-
of acrobatics.
Ad-
Yeah.
Adam's having trouble with his typing today. I'm having trouble with my speaking always.
Oh,
No, I meant acrobatics. I apologize. With 24, you make. What kind of fancy shit do you want to do?
Oh, bitch! Wait, can I find a video? I want to find a video that does it instead.
Yep.
I want to find an impressive video.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember the video that went viral this year of that girl who's doing gymnastics, who like did a bunch of like flips and shit? She was like doing a competition in like America or something like that. I can't remember what her name was.
It's been a
now.
really long year.
It was in the YouTube
I
rewind
see
shit.
a lot of those.
I can't remember who it was
Well,
now.
if you go find it, we can all enjoy it.
It
together.
wasn't like a tightrope thing, but it's a similar thing that I'm trying to think of.
The like the bar one where they like spin around on the bar and then jump off at the end.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, but
Uneven bars?
not the girl.
Oh, Nick might have it.
Let's see what Nick's got.
No.
Did she have short
Oh,
curly
is it?
hair?
Oh, I did watch this.
Yeah,
I think.
her, Caitlin. Yeah. She's like proper like grooving to it.
Dude,
as
this was
well.
fucking January.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, she's so good. I remember watching this and being like, I fucking love this confidence. It's incredible. Holy shit. It gets you hyped. It makes you wish that you could do this shit. And by that I mean I could totally do this.
Totally. Like the little groove she does to herself,
It's
like
the-
right
it's
at the
the groove.
beginning. Yeah.
There's about like 39, 40 seconds in, she starts doing a little dance to herself, and that's what I imagine Oro doing.
Wait, let me get there. Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, we're making that happen.
Is that a dib?
Wait, which bit?
We're talking okay. Let me get to. Oh shit! Oh gosh, she's doing too many dancey bits. Okay, wait. I'm thinking from 38 seconds onwards.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Sure.
We found the
Yeah.
dib. We found the dib. I love it. We need to bookmark that somewhere so that we can refer
Wait,
to it for
What is
dibbing.
this thing?
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, she's so good. She's so good. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much for that help there, Nick. Good
Yeah,
job.
thank you.
Oh, okay.
Put
So
that into Randall's notes.
Today
this
we
is
discovered
referred to
what
as a
dib was.
dibbing.
We just have like a set of pictures drawn like this.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Okay, so you make your way across this taut rope.
hmm
You do some fucking flips and shit. You dib halfway along the way.
Yeah. Sure. What an asshole Oro is. Jesus Christ. Someone tell her off. Jesus.
No.
You
think it's fun.
you get to the other side with absolutely no problems. What do you guys? What's your impressions of your newfound companion doing all this shit?
For like half a second, I was going to clap, and then I'm like, wait, no. Hold on. But as soon as she gets to the other side and like lands on the ground, I'm like,
Another dib. That was very impressive, says
Thank
Honu, much slower than that.
Thank you, Honey.
Now hurry up.
I have to like, I put like my quarterstaff back away and I like grab my robes and my like cloak and I'm like holding it up and I've got the other end of the rope and I'll take a running leap, but I can only make 8 feet, so I like splash into the water.
Yeah, that's a
like,
splash.
Yeah.
That's a splash.
Yeah.
I love the
That's a
idea.
splash.
I love we've got a round who's just like just like flies basically across it. And then we've got fucking Oro here doing fucking dibs and shit, like backflipping on this rope. And then you're like
And I knew that I knew I wasn't going to make it, and that's why I pulled on my like clothes up and kind of like almost bustled it in a way, like hold it and like tucked it or whatever. So how deep is the water? 2 feet from the edge?
2 feet from the edge, there is actually quite a drastic dip, about 1.5 feet.
Oh,
You
okay.
managed, which means that when you land, your kind of front goes onto the edge of the river where you can kind of pull yourself up. You're not in the river, you're just like from
How
waist
deep?
downwards.
Oh, okay.
You're coated, I'm afraid. The int and strength dump stat team. we got a strong boy. Was it 14?
This is what happens when you use a standard array. You're gonna have 2 crap stats. That's just how it is.
Oh no. We should all roll our dice. Roll our stats. Pardon me. But on the other side, you are. Honu makes his way off into the tree line.
I'm again cursing myself for not taking prestidigitation.
From the to the south of you, in the moonlight, you have a sight at the tree. That's tree. Thank you very much, Randall. That you have not seen so far. I mean, you came up past the mayor's house previously, and you had a lovely image of the valley below you. Unfortunately, you did not catch this, however. And let me just find it if I can.
Rolling stats is a trap.
Your boy doesn't have
It's the only time I roll well, actually.
the image up. I'm actually gonna upload this just so that we can have an image of this, because why not? It's gonna take me 2 seconds to upload, and my internet's gonna go a bit shit. So if you guys want to go for a bye break now, feel free.
Yes, I need to get some water.
Okay.
Brum.
It won't take me long to do. Go, go, go. Do, 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 do. Ooh. Go, go, Flower Rangers. This is something I did not think I would have to prepare for today, which is why I don't have it prepared. I apologize. I can't tell if I'm going to be really laggy, which is why I'm not talking, because I'm uploading, and my upload is so bad that I'm worried that if I talk, it's just going to be robot gibberish. Am I robot gibberish? Can you understand me? If you use a whiteboard that you shows the camera, you will always be prepared. I have a whiteboard, but it's used for. The words are not gibberish. Oh, you can actually hear me. Okay, excellent. I have a really slow upload speed, and my poor internet uploading images onto Roll20 has a bit of a fart. My face is a bit laggy. I should do the dib. I like the idea of using a whiteboard. I would definitely use a whiteboard. Because I always have a whiteboard or something if I'm teaching, or like a piece of paper so I can draw what I'm trying to explain. Hello.
Hello.
Apparently my voice isn't laggy, but my face is a bit laggy.
Yep.
It's taken ages to upload.
Oh no.
Possibly because I'm using Zoom at the same time as doing it. And then really, we should be impressed that my connection has decided to balance these two things out.
It's the benefit of Zoom over Discord. I have muffins.
Ooh.
Oh, they look incredible.
That looks like a little heart.
Yeah, it's a cranberry. It does look like a heart.
Wait a second.
I'm accidentally really cute. I made cranberry lemon muffins.
Cute.
Okay, we're going to move you over here.
Ooh. Color.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Ooh.
Little face.
Well, I wish I could play more in person, but I'll have to save that for my con DMing. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like pro and con instead of like.
Oh, it's when he goes to big TTRPG gaming conventions.
TTRPG.
Like,
No, Adam's like a pro DM and gets like paid for it and stuff. Like,
oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm so
cool.
good.
I'm a con artist DM.
Honestly, I knew it.
I think you guys have probably seen it. If not, then you should. The Acquisitions Incorporated like stuff they do at PAX, like the games.
I watched one a couple of years ago that you sent, but that's it.
They are super funny. They're really,
like the
really
live
good.
games.
Yeah. And they do streams for the C team, the Acquisition Incorporated C team, but I don't watch those. They're not to my tastes. But the A team, quote unquote A team stuff that they do is amazing. So good. And it's DM'd by Jeremy Crawford, who's the lead rules designer for D&D. So he's understandably a very good DM. And because my sleeping pattern is fucked, I watched the game live last night. I'm so glad I did. It was so fucking funny. Oh my god. I usually watch them like I'll have the YouTube video on and I'll pause it and I'll go off and do something and I'll come back and I'll unpause it, which obviously you can't really do when you're watching it live. But it just meant I got like all the funny bits like straight into my veins live. It was so good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I do not get paid. I get things.
He gets in kind.
Paid in kind.
Reimbursement. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd like things.
Me too, bitch. Like hotels and badges. It's such minuscule things. Hotels.
The
Whole hotel.
badges to the con, to clarify.
Yeah.
Should live in America.
I was this close to convincing Tom to move to America.
Yes.
Not really.
This close. Yes. So close.
Was I really? I was joking.
It's the I would consider it if you didn't have your healthcare system.
We're working on that.
Yeah, well, we're working on getting rid of ours. But yeah, no, there's a really big board gaming convention in Birmingham actually. I think it's called Gamescom. Is it Gamescom? Maybe not Gamescom. It's at the NEC. It's like they just all board games. It's like the biggest one in Europe, I think. It's just around the corner, and I've never been.
Oh my gosh, go!
Well, it's just as I can't imagine going on my own. And if I went with someone, I imagine it would be like a couple hours of walking around a bunch of board games that we're too poor to buy.
At Gen Con, they have like they'll do demos so you can walk around and play the games. And then of course they want you to purchase them, but there's a lot of just like activities you can do for free, and you can probably just sign up to play games and stuff.
Oh. The demo hall lets you play them for free. Wow. Sounds like a really good way of making me want things I can't afford.
But
Welcome
you
back.
could ask for them for presents.
Or I could go and GM for them and ask them to give it to me for free. If you sign up to be a DM, you can usually get a badge for only DMing for like 4 to 5 seconds. I mean, I'd be up for DMing and stuff, I think. But anyway, back to DMing. So, the tree that you see to the south of you is this gorgeous sight that you see here. This is what has been referred to in passing by people within someone put on the map spooky tree.
Who would do such a thing?
In dark green, who knows? It is known as Bramblewood Grove. This is a kind of an outcrop of trees just on the cliff face here that overlooks the village, and this gorgeous kind of bioluminescent tree has this ethereal look about it. Casts light. It's more light pollution, is what it is.
Oh,
Fuck
it's
'em.
terrible.
You know,
Oh, damn it.
terrible.
Where's the nearest dark site? That's where I want to go.
But it is a magical sight. Absolutely, like it's like nothing you've ever seen before. And just passing it, kind of, even at a distance, your breath is taken away from you by just a little mote. But you pass it, and Honu seems not even remotely fazed by it, as if he had passed it 100 times. And you walk straight into the tree line. As you walk into the tree line, you see the trees surrounding you block out the light from the stars as well as the tree to the south. Apparently typing is not Our chat is amazing. I love you guys. You're in the trees.
There are
Takes
trees.
you-
I'm wringing out my clothes as I go.
Making sure that you're leaving a damp mess as you go into the mud.
I mean, it's grass, so I figure it can just use the sustenance, right? I'm
You're welcome,
watering the
nature.
plants.
You're
Mhm.
welcome. You get to a large fallen tree that is not along this kind of makeshift path that Honu is using. You can see as you walk along that there are dents in the trees that are in where the path comes a little bit closer, and they're on the same kind of height as you can see that there are kind of brushes and kind of marks on his shell, as if he's just come through here so many times and hit them with his shell that the trees themselves have started to kind of get the hint and move out of the way. And there's this large log, and he takes a break and he sits down upon it. It creaks underneath his weight, and he turns to each of you and he says, "Well, here we must part ways. I have planted the seeds in multiple locations, which means that you must spread out."
Oh no.
Wow.
Oh.
Are you going to tell us where they are?
I will point you in the right direction. Due north.
God damn it, Adam.
I spread my seeds to. Oh, bless.
Hey, Shadow.
Hey, Shadow, how's it going? I win. You've broken Katie.
Just in case anyone's watching this on the VOD and doesn't know what Adam said.
I had to mute myself because I choked.
Nat 20 against Kitty.
Well, were you going to read it? I think you should.
Oh yeah, okay. What Adam said. Man who DMs at conventions and gets things for doing so.
Get some context.
Is that advertising Adam now?
Yeah. Adam, you can clip over. He said, I have spread my seed, so you must spread out to recover it. And that is what was funny. You're welcome. You can't see the chat. Is that what they meant by sowing wild oats?
Right. Listen, okay. He's planted some plants.
He's
Right.
cultivated a crop.
Yes. He has grown some flowers.
He's worked the land.
He's worked.
I wasn't even making a joke. I was making a way to say it, so you
no,
don't have to say spread your seed.
I mean, there are lots of different ways, and none of them avoid the the insinuations. But anyway, he says there is one location due north that is in a small clearing surrounded by red-capped mushrooms. There is another in an unfortunate location with very fertile ground that many animals have found their demise in, that we can find to the northeast.
It's a bog.
To the south here is a location that I will be tending to myself. To the southeast, back towards Bramblewood Grove, is the location that I would require somebody to guard the most, as Bramblewood Grove is occupied by spirits that may have their eyes on my prize.
Oh, don't put your prize near him.
Well, unfortunately, the magics that run within this place may help me bear fruit.
So, is the north path dangerous as well?
I'm afraid there are no places here that are entirely safe, but there are multiple places that I need help observing. In fact, there is another continuing this path to the west. That is in the chest of a dead oak.
Well, what is particularly dangerous about the two paths you mentioned, where animals had met their demise, and then there's one in particular that needs to be guarded?
Well, to the southeast is the location closest to the Bramblewood Grove. And as I said, the Bramblewood Grove is home to some spirits that may take interest in the flowers. To the north,
What type
there
of
is
spirits?
well, it is an ancient place. Some are benevolent, some less so.
Okay.
But to the north, there is the unfortunate animal graveyard that you will find. I suspect that is a place of peaceful repose.
Do you know why the animals there have died?
I take it as one of those phenomenon of nature.
So, who is going to what?
Are there more paths than we have people? Or did I hear that one?
And the west is just in a tree.
There is dead oak,
Yeah.
animal graveyard,
Mhm.
the location just directly south that Honu will be sitting at. And there is the location down by the Bramblewood Grove.
We thought there were two north for some reason.
So
Yeah.
we know there's north animal graveyard, east. Wait, and southeast is the Bramblewood.
I've done a very poor job of explaining this. I apologize.
There's another one in the north that was a small clearing.
Yes, there's one to the north in the small clearing as well. There are
With
5
mushrooms.
in total.
Yeah.
Yes,
So there's
there are
more
5
than
in
there are
total.
people.
Yes.
Okay.
Which
And just
Huh.
like to make sure we have the types of dangers that he's mentioned correct. North is the animal graveyard. There's another northern direction with a small clearing. What did he say about that one?
That was where the mushrooms are.
Mushrooms are.
danger mushrooms.
You
What
left
type
out
of mushrooms?
Which ones are most likely
we've
to
got-
bear fruit?
So we've got to the direct west is the dead oak. To the north is the animal graveyard. To the northeast is the clearing with the red top mushrooms. To the south, there is one that Honu has shotgunned. And to the southeast is the clearing closest to the Bramblewood Grove.
Oh, I was not muted just then. Sorry.
for the rubbish explanation.
And is there anything in particular of note about the dead oak?
No. There is nothing particular about many of these places. They are just landmarks.
I think an animal graveyard is a particular landmark, but perhaps that's just me.
Do not fear nature.
Nature is unpredictable. What are you going to say, Randall?
Which do you expect most likely to bear fruit?
They are equally likely, as the plants are prickly fellows. Literally.
Oh, how do we get them? How do we get them if they're
Yeah.
prickly?
Well, you pluck them. They must be plucked, and you will have roughly a minute window at midnight.
What a stupid plan.
This plan is going to
which-
save your life.
Which
It will say plan.
The
which portion do we pluck though?
flower.
It's
It will bloom.
and it looks like it's bleeding.
It looks like a rose, a red rose that is bleeding.
So does it drip a liquid?
It looks like it is dripping liquid. It does not
Okay.
drip liquid. Parts of the blossom themselves, the flower, grow outwards and drip and droop, and they look like they are weak in blood, but they are not.
Cool.
Which,
Well-
being that you're entered, Randall, which speaks most to you?
I think we ignore the one with spirits that might attack. If we can't go to all of them anyway.
Yeah.
The two to the south are quite close. All of the others are quite far spread apart.
You could try and get both. I could run between them slowly.
But Hanu's
Yeah,
at the south one. So would he need
Oh.
protecting? Hanu, would you need protecting?
I think I will fend for myself. I can move if necessary. I could go to another place.
What
Made
if they're close together?
You just bite into that and say, I've made a terrible mistake.
Yeah. I just had a Strepsil and I was like, this does not taste right. I'm trying to get rid of the Strepsil taste, but chocolate didn't help. Sorry. Go ahead.
If we could run between the two, we might be able to get both. If we had someone to go between the two south ones.
How far apart are the two southern locations?
I would say maybe 200 feet. Does maths.
Opens calculator. It takes me fair. It would only take me 24 seconds to get between them.
It is difficult terrain.
Then I dash and then I ignore the difficult terrain all the way.
He's got you.
What?
got you there.
Dashing ignores difficult terrain as a
Yep.
monk? What are you doing?
Mobility.
Jumping off the trees? It's
Mobility.
amazing. I love it. I'm here
Parkour.
for it. I'm here for it. That's awesome.
The only problem is that because I'm got exhaustion level 2, my movement speed is halved, which means it takes me 48 seconds.
Oh.
But I can still ignore the difficult terrain.
But if you've got the first one, then trying for the second one is just a bonus, right?
Mm-hmm. Stand there with my hand over it and then go run. Yeah, I can try.
Assuming we don't run into any difficulties. I think if you want to try for 2, that's fine. It's less important to choose how far away they are from each other because they're all going to be spread apart. I think it's more important to choose the right person for the right location. It would be helpful
Yes,
if
you,
we-
as a level 3 party, should split the group. Adam, shut the fuck up. Look at this wonderful situation I've got planned out, Adam. And shut the fuck up.
Listen, we know out of character that this is a
No,
terrible
I know.
idea.
I'm just fucking with him.
Yeah.
He knows I love him.
I'm
I'm helping.
helping.
Okay.
It's never gone wrong.
We are running out of time to set up.
Well, if I take the 2 that are close together, then I can run between them and try and get both.
Roll me a persuasion check. Very low DC.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm
my.
going to use my inspiration to do something better than that.
As in, would you like to roll an advantage?
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Don't you dare. Fine.
Very low DC.
I did say very low.
Maybe
DC.
it was a
That's
1.
very
Maybe it was
low
a
DC
1.
is 5. Very low DC is 5. That's
Okay.
Guaranteed
He
fact.
says, yes, if you think you can get me 2 of my blossoms,
I can certainly try.
then where would you have me?
Which one would you prefer to be at?
I have an interest in the animal graveyard.
Okay.
I find it to be a serene place.
Okay.
Or the tree or the clearing with the mushrooms, Oro?
Wait, you asking me? All the same to me.
I'll go northeast to the clearing with
Okay.
the mushrooms.
Very well. Then we should depart. You should be able to find them quite easily, as when they bloom, they will radiate a small light.
Wait.
Oh, I want to start. I want to start the one that's south, not the one by the tree.
Okay. Okey-doke.
The 2 southern directions are the spirits, and then the whatever is to the south that he didn't describe.
He says that he wants to be at
Okay.
the south one, not the southeast one.
Not the tree one.
I say I didn't realize. I thought you were talking about the one that's literally in the tree in the oak, and I was like,
No,
that's-
no, he's yeah. So before you depart, any parting words?
Is there anything that Randall should know about the location you were originally going to go to? We don't know anything about that one.
Well, I chose that one because I planted the seed there first, and I have been tending more carefully to it. I was more confident that a seed would bloom there.
There's no landmark around.
A big bush of otherwise well-growing crop. There are some other herbs there. You may take a few if you wish.
Maybe another time.
And we just head in the direction, and we should easily be able to find it.
Yes. I planted them specifically in the somewhat cardinal directions from this location.
Okay.
And he points, in case you aren't aware, north, west. So and he points directly in the direction, hoping that will not make you have to do survival checks to make your way there.
Interesting. Yeah.
Hardy's got weird metagaming, man.
Yeah,
Crazy.
straight.
Can I leave a torch here that faces towards the way that I need to go once I've been to the... Like, can I put like 2 torches down to like show me which way I need to go once I've been to the first one to get to the second one?
I would personally not light naked flames.
It's not
a
necessarily
heavily wooded
lighting
area.
it, just like to put the stick down so that I can recognize it as that's not tree.
You could put sticks wherever you like. It's a forest.
It's a free country.
Just so that I can get back here and then work out where I need to be.
Is Randall still about to turn into a walking rat corpse? Missed the beginning. Randall's really not looking great. Yeah.
Who knows?
This is still day 2 of his illness. This is just nearing midnight.
They do. They still don't
Day
know
2.
I'm a rat monster.
Day 2 what?
And we're currently off to go and find the ingredients that Honu needs in order to make a potion that will hopefully heal his rotting slough, the disease that he has gained.
Was that a Majora's Mask reference? No?
No.
Okay. To the day 2 thing. I didn't hear what
Oh,
you said.
no.
Okay.
No, he said day 2 and they still don't know that I'm a walking rat monster.
Oh.
Randall is become a trench coat full of rats.
At least it's not worms. We're going up in the world.
That's true.
True.
Eyeball eating worms. All right, I head northeast.
Okay. Any parting words to your comrades before you go? Just any words
Come
of
back here
goodbye?
when we're finished.
Mhm.
Yeah. Scream if you're in trouble.
Okay, good luck.
Okay. Well, on that note, you walk in your different directions, and thankfully, each of you finds the location easily enough. Tom, I would like to point out that they are splitting the party like I advised them not to do, which is what I wanted them to do.
Oh, Adam,
Thank
you really got us.
Thank
this
you,
time.
Adam. Wow, you really, yeah.
Didn't
He
see that
He was
coming.
joking about the not being a con DM. I'm kidding.
Right. Each of you finds your location relatively easy. Like he said, they are basically straightforward in the direction that he pointed you into. Honu takes the north. So we have west is Oro,
Mhm.
south and southeast is Randall, and northeast is Nirali. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Oro, arriving at your location, you find exactly what he described, a great dead oak. It appears it has been snapped in the center as it has fallen over and died with old age. And in the center of it, in the stump, is a core that looks like it's kind of rotted away to a certain extent. In the center, it looks like it has been filled with soil, and grass has grown over it. Right in the middle of that is the stalk of what looks like a rose. And you imagine that's probably what you're looking for. The area itself is still quite heavily wooded, but the body of the oak is on the ground, pretty much directly south of where the stump there. There we go. Words,
You were
man.
stumped.
I was stumped.
Nice.
Binge.
I hate this to me. It doesn't bother me. But anyway, okay. So to the northeast, we find ourselves.
I should make that a command. Is bench a command? I don't think it is.
What's it gonna say? Bench.
Tom is fumbling with his words again, and he can't remember what it is that he's talking.
Just make a command that's what's that word? And it
The
says
command
bench.
would be, is this the word you're looking for? Oh, I have a map. Oh no.
Mapping,
Oh,
is it?
Oh, I have a map. That's bad
I'm just gonna
news.
plop myself down right there.
So the flower, in this instance, you can see is not right in the middle of this patch in the center, as you would expect, because that would be nice and symmetrical. It is actually on the eastern side, it's just over here at the base by those.
It's the raid bell.
Sorry, I hit my pen on my glass. Tess, thank you for the raid. Also, another raid bell.
Hi, Tess. How did the stream go? She was playing Bloodborne.
A blue burn.
Bloodborne.
A blue balloon. How was blue balloon?
Bloodborne.
Blip, blur.
How's it going, guys? We've just
Hey, Beth.
successfully managed to split the entire party.
We have just successfully. Meaning, Tom has made a
I
plan that we
assume-
can't go together.
I mean, you could risk not finding the
Could
room.
risk the
Could
DM
risk
killing me.
Randall dying.
I mean, either way, it's either definitely find a bloom or split the party, get lots of blooms.
Lots of blooms.
We're doing this for you, Randall. I'm gonna die for you.
We're all dying for me, even though it's me dying.
Adam says, "You've only known him like 3 days."
Mm.
True.
Yeah, that's how much of
Point.
an impact.
Maybe we have a hard time making friends. Okay.
And when you find someone that you just click, okay, and then I would dive at you.
Listen, there are two
No.
people in this town who haven't been mean to me once yet. And they are the two people who I'm currently hanging out with, or was until I left to go.
Until we parted.
Everyone else, I
Fucking
talk to them
poor
and they hate
Atticus
me
and
instantly.
Fucking parsnip, Jesus.
I mean, but we don't. Atticus could hate me. I don't know. He has to pretend that he likes me because his master told him to, or whatever. Even though we keep trying to tell him to just hang out with us.
I think I accidentally closed roll 20. Yeah, I did.
Oh no! And the water came out my nose, Katie. Gotcha back.
Bloodborne is good. Excellent. I'm glad to
Okay,
hear.
so my flower is this like bush-looking thing right there.
Uno memento.
Okay.
No surprise, but it's very hard to find flower tokens.
Interesting.
Yes, we'll say it's that bush. That makes it easier. Yes, it's that bush.
Okay. I'm going to
Um,
like. This is like, how tall is this little ledge thing here?
That's about a, say, 10 foot.
Okay, I'm gonna like nestle up in this little nook so that nothing can sneak up behind me because I'm worried now.
Okay. There we go, guys. Other DM tip. If you want to make your characters and your players paranoid, put them on a battle map.
No. I was worried when he was like, there's just mushrooms and things could be dangerous. And I'm like, he's not telling us what's going to
All
happen.
of these locations could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Let me just close this a second. Okay. And this is the location that you have arrived at, neurally. Again, this is quite a heavily forested area, but it does open up into a small clearing. You can see with ease that there are items of worthy note, such as these mushrooms scattered around, and a hole where you suspect perhaps a badger lives. But apart from that,
Hufflepuff.
it's lovely. It's a nice little clearing. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled.
Okay.
Successfully suspicious. The next one.
I mean, the thing was suspicious before there was a battle map, obviously.
It's D&D. You guys are constantly going to be paranoid all the time, aren't you?
I mean, no, in character, this person's like, yeah, I can help you. it's going to be really terribly dangerous. I was going to hire some people to protect me while I harvested this. Also, go by yourself.
Well, his plan was to hire people to do exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. And then to the south, you find a small garden, Randall.
Ooh.
It is
How pleasant.
well looked after. You can see that basically what's happened is they've kind of got some tree logs.
Tree logs.
Yes, as opposed to other kinds of logs, poo, and lay them down in a square. Filled the square in with more soil,
raised bed. Wow.
and they've in this square they've filled it with various plants and herbs. In the direct center, you can see that there is a very small pathway that is kind of parts where the plants have been growing, and in the center you can see that there is a very tall bud of a rose, and it's pretty clear to you that's the plant that you'll be wanting to pluck when it hits midnight.
Right. How will I know when it's midnight?
It will bloom.
What if it doesn't bloom because there's not one that can bloom?
Good question.
Should have brought your watch.
Yeah. Damn.
Oh no. Dear my brow.
Well, I'm gonna just probably stand right next to it, hand outstretched, ready to grab.
Okay.
In a starting gun position so I can run to the other one.
Okay. Okie dokie. Well, as time goes on, you know that you've only have a few minutes really before the event, because you had to walk here. It took some time, and there were some delays because he's a turtle. He's a slow man, and you had a small discussion before you decided who was going to go where, etc., etc. But you are here, you are ready, and you are ready to pluck your blooms.
While I'm waiting and keeping my eyes out, I'm just there's a clearing, there's a break in the canopy, I can see the moon overhead, and I'm just going to be kind of like that sort of like quiet, hopeful, like sending thoughts out to the universe kind of thing that people do, where they're like, I really hope that this really, this works, and we got to save Randall, so just like talking kind of like generally,
just kind of hoping that if anyone's listening, then maybe they have a
start saying things like, yeah, I got my super powerful spells all prepared, ready in case someone steps out.
Man, I really hope I don't have to obliterate anyone today. It'd be really great if I didn't have to turn anyone to dust.
Totally was doing the I really hope this one blooms. Yeah, kind of like if there's anyone out there listening, sort of thing. Like not like to a person. Like
you mean to like a celestial being?
Yeah.
Really. Dear God, it'd be really swell if this plant bloomed. This really expensive, valuable plant,
so that we can save my friend, this person that I know, who I'm acquainted with.
Best friends now. 3 days.
Been through a lot in 3 days, though.
True.
Yeah.
Yes, you have. At midnight, or you assume to be midnight, the flowers in front of you bloom. Before you have a moment to grab each of your blossoms, let us discuss the events that lead up to this blooming. First, we will start with Neurali.
Oh, good.
Neurali, moments before your flower blooms, you see a figure walking along this path coming from the west towards you. It is an elderly lady. She's got a bit of a hunchback, as you would expect, because it's fantasy, so all old people are hunched. She has a walking stick of her own. She is slim and quite haggard. She doesn't look well kept, but she walks towards you with purpose. Her head is down. She's looking at the floor, but she is walking directly towards you.
I'm gonna stand in front of the flower.
Okay. A few more seconds pass as she walks with more purpose, just straight, absolutely towards where you are located.
I'm putting my hood up too.
Okay. She stumbles on a small rock as she gets close to you, and you hear her go, "Oh, oh, oh, okay." Oh. And she keeps hobbling towards you, and she gets to about 2 foot in front of you. Do you have any
You're in the shins.
any interactions that you'd like to put forth before she continues with her?
Well,
her
I think
walking?
before she gets 2 feet in front of me, maybe about 10 feet or so away,
Okay.
I would just say, I'm sorry. Is there something you're looking for?
Oh, stop bothering me. Get off. Stop it. People talking in my ears all the time. She hobbles towards you closer and closer.
I'm going to have to ask you to stop right there.
Mind your own business. Tell me what to do. Put some damn flowers. I'll pick my flowers if I want to pick some flowers. At this point, she's now about 2 foot away from you.
Yeah, when she's about 5 feet away, I'm just going to cast a light spell, like on the end of my wand, to try to get her attention, because I'm not sure what's going on in her brain.
She's still looking at the floor, pretty much. Oh, and she goes, "Excuse me. Please move aside."
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Have you broken your legs? Look, she taps you on the leg. They're fine. Move them out of the way. What ails you? And she conks you on the head with the stick.
I'm gonna,
She goes to conk you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to like block it with my hand or whatever.
Okay. Well, she goes for you, and you move out of the way, move.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm waiting here.
Oh, well, I apologize if I'm interrupting your waiting time. Out of the way, go. And she physically pushes you, not hard, but enough for you to be like, okay.
I'm gonna try to stand my ground. Like, she's older, but like,
she's older. I mean, but she's hitting you. I like to imagine if I was getting hit by a stick by an old lady, I'd probably find it quite hard to stand in one place. But I'm going to say that you managed to stay without any problems, but you are getting whacked by a stick. Not enough to cause damage, but it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I don't want to hurt her unless she makes me do it, basically. Like,
okay. Oh, fine. She takes a step to circumvent you.
Yeah, no, and I'll move to intercede.
I am in a rush.
You're coming here for something that doesn't belong to you.
I'm sorry? It doesn't belong to me. Does it belong to you?
It belongs to the person who planted it, who hired me to come and harvest it for them.
I think not. If you leave something in nature on land you do not own, does it still belong to you if that blossoms into a flower? He might have owned the seed, but he did not own this beautiful specimen. And she points to the flower behind you.
I guess you don't own the land then, since you didn't answer when I asked.
Nobody owns this land.
Then it's the only possession in question is of the seed.
Which no longer exists. It is a plant.
That still was born from the seed. If a piece of paper is slightly burned on the edge, you still own that piece of paper. It's just slightly burned on the edge. It's just changed a bit.
Very well. And if, for example, you were to lend me a piece of paper and I wrote an amazing poem on it, who owns the poem?
The poem would be yours, but the paper would still be mine, except I gave it to you, so then it's yours, but no one gave you this.
She blinks incredibly hard to the point where it looks like she might have for a moment fallen asleep. And you can see just sheer frustration boiling in her eyes.
I don't know why
Give me
everybody
a
reacts like that.
persuasion roll, please.
Tess redeemed the last D6 bonus and said, "For my boy Randall."
Yeah.
Randall.
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 Hey, girlfriend of mine, you can give them to the DM.
Not anymore, it's too late.
24.
No, not anymore.
24. And she says, I'll pay you for it.
I needed to save my friend's life. We're not even being paid for this.
I'll give you 20 gold pieces.
Is that what a person's life is worth to you?
He was saying that there are no other things in the world that can cure your friend. This flower is the
This is
vital
what
ingredient.
This is what we know, Will.
Very well. I need this flower for a potion of my own. If you allow me to take it, I can make the potion and give your friend a portion of it. This ingredient is known only for one potion. It is highly unlikely that Honu needs it for anything else.
What potion do you think it's for?
Well, the Harvest Bloom potion.
Which does?
The Harvest Bloom potion has many traits. If your friend is in peril, I imagine he has a disease of some kind. The Harvest Bloom potion is used for many things, such
What
as
diseases does it cure?
all diseases. That is why I am here, hoping to pilfer this damn plant. It is very valuable.
Well, since it's not yours, there are a few that we're hoping to harvest, and if he has extra, maybe you can buy it from him.
I will not deal with Honu. I am dealing with you.
Right, but this isn't mine, so I can't sell it to you. I can only retrieve it and give it to whom it belongs.
You said there are others that he has planted.
No.
Thank you. She slaps her walking stick down to the ground. As she does so, it turns into a small tree. Very small tree. We're talking like barely. We're talking about 5 foot high. It's what is the word for a sapling? There we go. It's a sapling. It turns into a small sapling. Bench. And she grabs hold of the sapling and she starts to mutter under her breath. As she does so, she's looking you directly in the eye and she pulls herself towards the sapling. She seems to use it as some kind of doorway because she steps into the sapling and closes a door behind her. As she does so, the sapling doesn't wither, but it like grows in reverse. Like it just reverses the growth. Rather than like withering and dying, it just stops existing. It goes into the ground and disappears.
Not at all weird.
And then the flower blossoms.
Oh,
You're
good.
muted. Oh, no, you're not muted.
I'm not muted.
You just sort of said something. It looked like you said something and nothing came out. It's like, okay.
Oh, I did say oops earlier.
Oh, okay. It must have been an oops. Okay. All right.
Wait, do I get it? It
You do
blooms,
get it,
right?
yeah.
I get,
Yes.
okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, good. You've upset a high-level druid. It's fine. Why are such strange people running around in the woods? Woods are full of strange people. Like these guys. Oro. You tell me what you're doing.
So I want to have a dagger out, and I just want to be on alert.
Okay. So the stump of this tree is relatively high up. It's a very big tree that has fallen. It's probably maybe 4 feet off the ground. on the ground, daggers drawn, or are you?
I want to be standing on it.
You want to be standing up on top? Okay. Well, you
Yeah.
climb it very deftly. It's almost no problem. You sit down on the stump.
Does Oro have another YouTube video of what they're doing? Some sick knife flips. No, I'm concentrating.
Okay. So time passes. Feels like it's passing quite slowly. Actually, you're pretty bored as you are. Two things happen simultaneously. You see the flower in front of you begin to slowly blossom, slowly bloom. It opens up in front of you, and it is gorgeous. It is wonderful looking at this flower because it is almost like a trick of the eye. It opens up, and you can see that it looks like it is slick wet with blood. You can see that parts of the flower, as they open up, droop down, and they look like actual liquid. But you touch them, and they're part of the flower. It looks like it's absolutely slick, but you pluck it, you pull it off of the stem, and as gorgeous as it is just a flower. At the same time, you hear a noise just to the south of you. It sounds like something has crashed through a branch, broken the branch in the process, and landed with a thud on the ground. Give me a nature check.
Oh, I still got my thing on 12. Oh wait, can I use my D6?
You want to use your D6? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Oh, so bad. Shouldn't have used the D6. I take it back.
Okay. Well, you do manage to identify what you think that noise is. It sounds like something flying, probably a flying animal, has crashed into the tree line, which can only really, in your mind, mean two things. Either it is unwell, something is wrong, or it is in the midst of a tussle.
Tussle.
But it is almost definitely a bat.
Can I put the flower away safely first?
Yep, you have a satchel that you can pop it away.
Okay,
Did you say Brittany?
Brittany? She traveled dimensions to make it here. Okay, I want to go over.
Okay. So as you get to like the first of the couple of trees that are between you and whatever this was, this object, you hear loud flapping in the sky. It's pretty much directly above you. It sounds like whatever it is circling. If you give me a perception check.
It's a 12, solid 12.
It is almost certainly, if you're seeing through the cracks in the tree line, and then I see tree line so many times in this game. In the canopy. Thank you, canopy. It looks like a hawk, but it doesn't look like any kind of normal hawk. It is a giant hawk. This thing is the size of a horse.
A night hawk, because it's nighttime.
It's the size of a horse.
It is Brittany. I'm kidding.
So it's just circling around above me?
It's circling, yeah.
And can I sense anything that's fallen? Or see anything that's fallen either?
Almost certainly, yes. There is definitely something directly in front of you. Christmas gift for Tom Thesaurus.
It's Brittany's cousin, Natasha. Sorry, Tom, what did you say?
I said yes, there is definitely something that has crashed in front of you.
Okay, I want to go over to it and check on it.
Sure. Okay. Well, Making your way through the trees is not difficult for you. You find your way very quickly and very abruptly. You are startled by the noise of a bat, and you can see that it is screeching in pain directly in front of you. This is no regular bat. Much like the hawk that was chasing it, this is a giant bat. However, this appears to be, if you give me a nature check.
Oh, yeah.
I got you, Boo. Best friends for life. My ride or die to the ice cream joint. Oh my god, these 12s!
I got another 12. Third 12 in a row.
Okay. So yes, this is definitely a giant bat. But it is a infant. But that still means that it is very, very big. This is bigger than you. It is, well, we'll leave it at medium sized. Whereas the hawk is large sized, and you are you're small size, aren't you?
I'm small.
Yeah,
Small.
Small, very small.
So it's like 2 to 3 times your size.
Dracula and the King of Eagles have come to claim the flower. Oh man, this is way worse than an old lady. Fucking Dracula and the King of Eagles.
Maybe Gandalf said them.
It looks injured.
Oh no. Okay. Would I know how to help? Surely. Right.
Well, your immediate thought is that it's being pursued.
Right.
You have spent some time around animals in the circus.
Mm-hmm.
And just roll a 12 medicine check. You've got a pretty good idea that with enough time, you would know how to nurse it to health. But if you have to roll me a medicine check to see if you know exactly what to do in this instant. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Oh, so close! So close! So close.
Oh, imagine if it
Can
was
she
12.
have my D6 and we'll just say it rolled a 1?
You're confident that if there was any if you could get it to calm down.
Calm down.
And roll an animal handling check of 12 or above. that you could probably tend to its wounds in a way that would stop it from being in so much pain right this instant.
Okay.
You're gonna get another 11 now. The pattern must continue.
Oh my god!
New pattern has begun.
Oh my god! New pattern has begun. So with the animal handling check, what are you trying to do?
I just can't believe those numbers have gone up. Well, I mean, I have animal friendship as a spell.
Oh right, okay.
So if I don't know the difference between animal handling and animal friendship is obviously just like convincing.
Why don't you pop it in chat?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Spells let you convince a beast that you mean it no harm. Choose a beast that you can see within range. It must see and hear you. If its intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you for the spell's duration. If you or one of your companions harms a target, the spell ends. Okie dokie. Let's have a quick look.
Stop rolling like me. I'm trying. I was doing so well at the beginning of the game.
So is that what you want to cast that spell?
Well, I mean, now I read it, it's like a trickery. Like I don't want it to fail and them to think I'm an asshole.
Well, I mean, we can flavor text this a little bit. So what that spell is aiming to do is basically charm and put something under your beguiling enchantment for a short time. But if you would prefer to use a lesser version of that spell, basically the same spell but dumb the effects down a little bit, to basically give it the sense that you aren't there to harm it.
Yeah.
Then I'll allow that. Mm-hmm. It will still use the spell slot. But basically that's the equivalent of being like, I want to use magic missile, but instead of like 3 darts, I want to use 2. You know what I mean? Like you've dumbed your spell down. You've not made it better anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm happy to say that you can spin it that way.
Okay. Yes, please.
Okay. And you do so. And you manage to persuade. I mean, you cast this spell, and the reaction of the bat is much more muted. You can see that it immediately calms down in your presence. It kind of gets back on its front as it was previously kind of still squirming in pain. It gets on its front and it looks up and it looks around and it notices you. And initially it's shocked and very concerned about your presence. It backs up. You can see that it's harmed its leg because it's limping. But as you kind of like, you're just like, chill.
We cool, bro. We cool.
We cool. You can see that it settles down a little bit. And it actually starts, it moves itself over slightly in your direction, whilst keeping its eyes on the canopy.
It's a bat.
It
doesn't use
bat.
its eyes. Bats notoriously bad eyesight.
Yeah.
So thing.
They're not blind though. Still looking up.
I can look up, damn it.
But it scoots towards you, basically, keeping its senses on the canopy.
I kind of want to try and like scare the other thing away. Not like real bad, but just like shoo it away, like piss off.
Okay, so it is. I mean, it is currently circling the trees above you. You can see it now, because there is a gap in the tree line / canopy / whatever the fuck, where the bat has crashed through some of the branches. You can see the branches are scattered around at your feet, along with some of the leaves that have kind of come down with it. You can see the moon straight through the trees, and you can see the wings of this hawk circling around, and you can see it looking for a chance to strike. What would you like to do to kind of shoo it away?
I mean, my initial thought was shouting, but then everyone else might hear me and think that they need to run to me, which they don't need to at the moment. So maybe I should just fire like an arrow like at it or in its direction to try and like scare it away.
Okay, is that what you want to do? I mean, just like a little warning shot sort of situation.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the warning shot is placed as you shoot through the trees once again into the sky, and I mean, you weren't hoping to hit anything, so no rolls need to be made, no accidental hits happen, but an arrow goes and pierces the trees into the sky. It doesn't seem to warn him off at all. He doesn't seem to be that fussed about it. Whilst you consider your options, Randall, here you are. Positioned.
Ready.
You're ready, absolutely ready. Turtle is very slowly sneaking away with them. He's there. He's involved in the flower picking. As you are preparing, waiting for midnight to strike, you hear a noise that you would consider to be alarming, and immediately gets your attention. Mm-hmm. You can see that there is a plant actively and very expediently growing on the other side of this garden. It bursts through the floor and directs itself towards the sky. A small sapling appears in front of you.
Cool.
From the sapling, a piece of its wood, the bark, peels off, and as it does, it is stretched out, and as if through its own shadow, a figure steps. An old lady, hunched over, pulls at the sapling, yanks it out of the ground, and it is a staff of hers. She looks at the ground and says, "Oh, I'll take his bloody flowers. I'll take all these herbs as well whilst I'm at it." And she hobbles through the garden. She steps. with no problems onto the herbs themselves. And you say, "Cool staff."
Cool staff. Who the hell are you?
Who are you?
No, I asked first.
What are you here for?
A flower.
Oh, interesting. I'm here for that plant there. And she points to one of the herbs directly adjacent to the flower. Yes, that lovely little daisy.
I pick it and I throw it to her. There you go.
Oh, well, you got rid of all the nutrients. You're clearly not very skilled. I'll have to do it myself. And she hobbles closer. She wades, like I said, through the herb garden and through the plants. And she's like now waist deep.
Can I like bend the rose towards me?
Yes,
It's like push it. From the
it's
bottom
very
to the-
rigid. It's surprisingly rigid. But if you manage to push it, and it comes towards you in directions. It's right up in your face now.
Mhm.
She's like, "What are you doing to that poor plant?"
Never you mind. You got your
I
plant.
see.
You got the herb you want. Get back in your tree.
You're with that other pretty little girl, aren't you?
I assume you mean one of my companions.
Oh! Yes. I will pay you a handsome fee for that flower there.
I'd rather have the flower.
20 gold pieces.
I would rather have the flower.
And a little bit of this.
Nope. Definitely none of that. Did you try this with my companions? I hope none of them took you up on this.
Got so many flowers.
I really want that flower.
So do I.
20 gold pieces
I don't
will
want your 20
take
gold
you a
pieces.
long way.
Won't take me very far when I'm dead, though, will it? So I would rather have this flower.
Ah, you are the companion that the other young thing spoke of. If you give me that flower, I can make the potion for you, and I can pay you.
I've already kind of agreed to do this thing for this other guy. Can't
But
really
is
go-
it as lucrative?
No, but I can't really go back on it now because I already agreed.
Does it have all of this?
Does it come with perks?
20 gold pieces as well as a potion. It's quite a generous offer.
I agree. It is a generous offer. Unfortunately, I cannot take it.
I'm running out of time, young man.
So am I. Seems like we're in the same boat.
I promise you, you don't want to make an enemy of me.
I just want to live at the moment. I need this flower, you know.
Yes, you do want to live, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So it would benefit you to not be here because I need this flower.
But with the flower, with it, yes. Mhm.
Yes, I need it.
I can let you have it.
Midnight strikes as the flower starts to bloom in your hands. You have the flower and the blossom, the bulb right in front of you.
Yeah.
The old lady is using her quarterstaff to kind of hook the plant towards her at the stem. And what that's doing is essentially pulling it taut enough for you to just...
As soon as I have it, I just dash off.
Yeah, okay.
It's just like, bonk, gone.
He makes a break for the trees. She's gone. And she's, fuck! Get back here, young man! What's going to happen is that she is going to make a attack on you.
Oh, shit.
I should have tried to tap her first, and then she wouldn't. But,
What she's going to do
Wait, is
is
this an
she's
opportunity
going
attack?
no, it's not an opportunity
Damn it.
attack. We're not really in combat here.
but you're still attacking.
She's
Sounds like
making an
combat
attack
to me.
against you. I mean, if you'd like, it can be, but it's not an opportunity. And that would suggest that she also then gets an additional attack against you. It's just run away. Let me just find it.
Is it a range? I hope it's a ranged attack.
It is. Oh no, it's not. well, what is your armor class?
It is blank. That's not very helpful, is it?
Oh, that's the opposite of helpful.
I think it's like 12. I can't remember what the base is.
I'm sorry. I've been busy running the game, talk to you, but I did see for a brief second that you're unwell, and I'm sorry that's the case. I hope you feel better soon. I am. Is that Polish or Polish? Tortu Polish from Tortu Poland. Oh, it's Polish. I hope you feel better soon, buddy. Dex mod plus Wiz mod plus 10 for a monk, according to Yo-Yo Putty Tat. Thank you, Yo-Yo Putty Tat.
Yes. So, wait, plus Wiz mod. Fuck.
Not Tortuga.
Okay, that means my AC is 15.
Right. Okay. It's unfortunately not quite high enough. From her from her hand or finger extends around the quarterstaff. She pushes her hand in your direction, and a long vine-like whip that is covered in thorns latches around your ankle.
Oh wait, doesn't that also knock me? Oh no, it pulls me back, doesn't it? Shit.
Yep.
Damn it.
You get whipped by this, and it is yanked from underneath you. You are pulled 10 feet towards her, but she was only about 5 foot away, so you're past her at this point now. She's yanked you behind her. We're gonna not really combat this, so it's just gonna be taking it in turns between you and her. What do you want to do?
Is the vine still attached to it?
No, it was a instantaneous kind of thing. You are going to take some damage from it though.
And what, we're going to get another disease.
Oh, I think I rolled max on that.
We're not in combat. You're taking lots of damage. We're not in combat. Don't worry.
I mean, we could combat this if you want. It's
I just want to run away.
You're taking 6 points of damage as she pulls your feet from underneath you. You slam into the ground, and you're yanked backwards. It takes absolutely nothing for you to get back up. Simply from the sheer momentum, you're back on your feet already.
Right. Is the tree line closer behind me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she stood in the middle of the garden.
Right.
You got 5 foot away. She pulled you. You're now 5 foot behind her. However, the tree line that you want to go towards is the way you were going.
Yeah. Can I use
why yank when you can yoink? That's a pretty great question.
Can I use the momentum of her like pulling me backwards, and then as it gets to the end and the vine is letting go of me, like turn on the spot 180 degrees and then run the way she just pulled me? So it's like she just accelerated me the other way.
I will require you an acrobatics check.
How about athletics? Because it's more athletic-y.
Yeah, but I'm imagining like you've done like a cool backflip to keep going. Like, this is part of the motions.
Fine. This is why I didn't want
to... with an advantage because it's a cool idea. Okay. And plus, I did kind of put it on you. But it's basically, she whips it around you, pulls you back. You take that momentum. Thorns still dug into your leg to use that and get into the tree line. You bolt out of there.
Yep, and then
totally in the tree line. That's what you want.
Once I'm in the tree line, I'm gonna just like dash my way in the trees, but around like this area.
Right. Okay.
Just like bouncing off the trees, like doing, 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 doing.
Right. Okay.
Like just slightly inwards. And then
but you want to go around to the other.
But go back the way I want to actually go, but like actually in the tree line, so you can't easily like.
And you're using your dash, so you're not held back by difficult terrain, etc. So you have the, this will count as difficult terrain, but because of your mobility, it doesn't do much to slow you down. However, it is going to give you significant cover as she once again tries to thorn whip you.
Leave me alone.
So she is going to get a -5 on that attack. You see another whip come through the trees, and it grabs a branch directly in front of you, and he yanks it back, and it tugs it out of the tree, and he goes directly in front of your face. But you're still bouncing off of these branches, going off from trunk to trunk with absolutely no problems. You think that the density of the wood between where you are and where you need to be is thick enough that you could probably get away.
I'm totally doing that.
You get a bolt?
Yeah.
Well, with enough speed, you manage to find yourself at the other of the planting spots. You can see in front of you a break in the trees line that leads to the grove that you saw as you passing by. You can see the leaves still illuminating. You can see its beautiful golden light shed through the just through the kind of ambiance of the area that you're in at the moment, and it is gorgeous. What's even more gorgeous is the person who currently has the bulb of the other flower in her hand. This lady has very clear Fae-like features. There is no way that she is of this world. She is the single most beautiful person you have ever seen. And she is stood with the killer's instinct in her hand up to half of the stem, admiring it. She is wearing clothes that are part leaves, part some kind of ethereal, golden, shimmery material that is made into a dress that falls around her as if she was made out of nature itself. You can see her skin as she is barefoot, and the sleeves come up to about her elbow. She has long golden blonde hair that shimmers brightly in the moonlight. It looks very similar to the tree. Hello.
Hi. Are you gonna take that?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to move back to Oro very Oro.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I remembered that I have something now. I'm 3rd level.
Oh,
as a wall of text.
that is a wall of text.
Primeval
I have a wall
awareness
of text.
is what it is. I have an innate ability to communicate with beasts, and they recognize you as a kindred spirit. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas. As an action, you can read it as a basic mood and intent. You learn its emotional state, whether it's affected by magic, blah, 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 blah. You can use this ability against a creature. No, not that bit. And actions you can take, if any, to persuade it not to attack.
Right. Okay. Additionally, you can attune your senses to determine if any of your favorite enemies know. Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to do that to the hawk?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. Okay. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas. Okay, so you want to suggest to this hawk to fuck off, basically, to not attack. Is that what you want to say?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that sound like?
Caca!
Yes, it sounds like caca. And in your perfect hawk speak,
yes.
you
Trained.
say, "Back off!" And you hear, "Oh, sorry." And what I'm gonna wait. Okay, communicate again. Communicate simple ideas. You can learn its emotional state. Okay, and actions you can take to persuade it. Oh, you learn whether or not it's affected by any short-term means, and any actions that you can take, if any, to persuade it to not attack. So you know full well that you can caca, and it will consider not attacking. I would like you to roll a caca persuasion check.
Where do I find that?
But not a caca persuasion check. We want just a caca persuasion.
Caca, not caca.
Emphasis on
Caca.
yeah.
Caca. Oh, a solid 10, like the previous 10.
A solid 10. That is a very adequate caca.
Thank you. Yeah.
You adequately caca in a way that seems to make the flapping go away.
The bird stops flying, it falls to the ground, it's dead. You've killed it. What have you done?
Oro took a level in Bard. It was vicious mockery all along.
Oh no.
Kaka means nothing in Norwegian. Thank you, Tess.
No, there's a whole conversation.
No, I can see. Kaka.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
poop. Kaka.
It means poop in
yes.
Spanish. I was like, it
The
means poop in
caca.
English too.
In front of you is the very distressed, although noticeably less so, giant bat. It is injured, but it has clearly relaxed considerably now. It's heard that the flaps have gone away with its incredible bat hearing.
Yes.
The cat see.
And it now starts to kind of cry as it tends to its wound.
Oh.
If by any means bat your eyelids at it, oh my god, so good. So good. If you guys haven't, I would recommend looking up bat noises because they're adorable. I did some research, and it is. I mean, it's crying in pain.
That's not adorable.
It's no cute.
I mean, it doesn't sound like ah. It's like bat noises are cute, no matter whether they're in pain or not.
Okay. So with my check before, do I know how to help it? Really?
Yeah, so I mean, let's have a look. So you've got you can read its mood and intent. Mood, owie.
Owie.
Cacao.
Yeah.
It's owie. It's in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Its intent at the moment appears to be to tend to its wounds and find somewhere safe.
Mood is owie is a mood. But with my animal handling check before, would I know how to heal or like help or
in the long term,
something?
you are certain that you would be able to nurse it back to health, no matter what its problem is, as long as because it doesn't look like it's in a fatal condition or terminal condition. It's definitely not going to die. It looks like its leg is injured and maybe one of its wings. But you imagine that you could nurse it back to health with time. In this immediate instance, I'm going to have to require another animal handling check.
Okay.
Be a 9. Oh my god, so close.
So close. Oh, it's so annoying.
I'm not sure which one I'm more annoyed at, the low roll or the fact that it's not in theme with the rest of the rolls.
It's not theme.
So you're not 100% sure what you could do right this second in order to alleviate any of its pain. Apart from any kind of healing magics that you have, nothing springs to mind immediately.
Okay.
Or you've got a couple of ideas that you think maybe you could, bandage or whatever, but you're concerned that you would injure it or hurt it in the process.
Yeah. Normally, I would now say I would like to pick the bat up, but the bat is a large bat. I am a small goblin.
It's a giant bat, but technically a medium bat.
Medium bat. Technically medium bat. I am small gobbo. So kind of just give it like little pets, like comfort it, like try and make sure it knows that it's safe and all that.
I'm going to ask for one more animal handling check.
Please be a 9. Please be a 9. Oh,
there we go.
That'll do.
With the combination of a good animal handling check, your ability to communicate with animals because of primeval awareness, and your previous use of the spell Animal Friendship, what you have here is a recipe for one very affectionate bat. This has gone from a oh shit I'm gonna die situation to a oh my god this is wonderful. This bat has now got to the point where it is comfortable enough around you that it has it is wandered off very briefly for food, and you see that it kind of perks its ears up for a second, turns around. Well, it's already very close to you, receiving pets, and then darts quickly into the the brush behind it. It comes back and it spits out the corpse of a massive cricket and nudges it towards you.
Nudge it back.
It nudges it towards you one more time, like, you really should.
I don't. You have it.
It seems to be like, okay. It is nursed to the greatest extent that it can be. Do you want to take some time to like make sure it's okay?
Name it.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, very easily. I mean, you are now at quite a comfortable place. In your pocket or in your satchel, you have the flower, the bloom that you needed, and beside you, you have a new companion, and it is very comfortable in your company. Back to Randall. I feel bad for Nirali, who's been like, is there anything that you would like to do?
Mute.
Would you like to unmute yourself?
It's doing that thing again where I press it and nothing happens.
Everyone wants a Blue Yeti. Even I want a Blue Yeti. I don't know a single person who hasn't had... Is it a Blue Yeti you're using?
Yeah.
I don't know a single person who has, apart from maybe Jenny, and even I think Jenny's had some problems in the past, who hasn't had problems with them randomly disconnecting or whatever. Because Scott used to have one, didn't he?
Yes, yeah. I never
Scott had
used the
problems
mute
for
button on mine,
ages.
but I know it's
Oh,
not great. But
Is
I
it
never
the mute
used
button that's the problem?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I guess I
Right,
should
okay.
just mute in Zoom.
I
But
thought Scott just used to hit his all the time, which is why he got muted.
He used to
We're
sometimes,
all like,
but not all the time. I think
Oh.
sometimes it was just a disconnection problem.
yeah, who knows? So I would have headed back to the meeting point.
Mhm.
I don't know how long it takes to get there. And if
It's
no one,
it's a few minutes.
yeah, if no one showed up after a while, I'd probably try to like figure out which direction somebody might need help from and head that way.
Okay, well, there have been no audible signs of calls of people being like, help! So, do you have any personal preferences? Who would Neurally... I mean, would she think to stay put or would she want to move?
Oof.
Which friend does Nearly love more?
No,
Because
well,
it was her suggestion
which one did
to
you
meet
go
up.
to first?
Was it her suggestion or someone else's suggestion to meet up there?
it
when
was
they were done?
mine.
Okay.
That's why I'm like,
So
I feel
we'll be like,
I-
let's meet up here, but not really.
yeah. I think I would stay unless I heard somebody calling for something, so that like I don't wander off and like I don't know, get lost or something.
Okay.
That lady knows where the other flowers are, so I'm going to avoid those maybe, but also kind of worry that. So yeah, I'm listening. I'm probably not gonna like sit out in the open though. I'm gonna like chill behind a tree.
Sure. Okay. How about Randall? Randall, we're back to you, buddy. In your hand is a blossom because you nabbed it from the old lady. But in front of you is some kind of fey creature who is holding the next one.
I feel like Randall's like motivation to fight for these flowers is severely damaged, given that he has one in his hand right now.
Yeah. I mean, he's objective complete, right?
Largely.
Yeah.
And given that he doesn't know what he's looking at.
This is by no means an elf.
Probably just gonna like back up into the trees. Like, cool.
Homer Simpson.
Yeah. Enjoy your flower.
Do you want it?
Sort of.
Come here to me. She gestures for you to come closer.
Okay. I'm gonna take my flower and like put it away.
Mhm.
And then like carefully walk over. but probably like take a wide berth around the rest of the tree and stuff, depending on which
As
I'm going
you, so I mean, she's in a clearing at the moment.
in. Yeah.
And I mean, it's vastly like it seemed that pretty much the only thing in this area was this one flower. And as you kind of hear in the background, you can hear the branches crack as as something comes storming through the trees in your general direction, and you, with your keen monk senses, can hear it coming. So you turn to see what it is, and you can see in the shadows of the trees the old lady stood there staring at you with it just disgust in her eyes and hatred, but she slinks away, having seen what is before her.
Wait, I see her slink away.
She slinks away.
Randall is now like on edge. Like this, she was quite happy to vine whip the shit out of me, but she doesn't want to tussle with what's going on here.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just gonna like be like, actually, you keep it. I've already got one. I don't need it.
You have one.
I had one. I gave it to my friends, and I came here to see if this one was here. I need to go now.
Do you know what this is?
It's a pretty flower.
It is a pretty flower.
And now I'm going to go. Just like stepping backwards.
Don't go. Stay.
No, I don't want to.
I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
I thought you might. Saving throw.
Lucky 12.
Lucky 12.
12 or
It's
12
a lot lower
always
than you needed.
passes.
It's a
12
lot lower.
always passes. That's what I know
Always
about
pass.
12.
Yeah.
Wait, you
There-
I had a d6.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh,
you still have a
yes, you
D6.
Oh, I'm gonna roll a 1.
Oh, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Scraping by. See, 12.
Scraping by. Okay, so you
Thanks,
that's a test 6. Pardon me. You feel like there is something about her that is just beguiling. And you have to like blink your eyes really. Just you're like, okay, whoa, okay, woohoo, something's not right. You feel almost drunk. You feel very, very slightly dizzy. It doesn't look like she's actively doing anything to. She's not actively using any kind of magic to try and make you stay.
Oh, right. It's just like
She's not enchanting you. It's just kind of in her nature. And you kind of there's definitely a part of you that kind of wants to stay and see what she has to say. I'm not, as a DM, going to make you or your character stay, but I'm telling you that the effect of her presence on your character is that there's at least a strong temptation. But I'm not going to make you stay. What does your character do?
It's like maybe like stops like mid-step backing away, being like
Adam. Adam, you get an inspiration point. What's around those? Sorry, I interrupted you with. It's just too funny. I'm sorry.
I think it's just like still backing away, but maybe like a bit slower, because it's just sort of like not super motivated to have a confrontation with someone, especially when he's like on his own. He's already got one person in the forest who's like trying to like whip him to death.
Yep.
And he'd rather survive with one flower than end up with none.
Okay. Well, she says, okay. Be seeing you. She blows you a kiss.
Bye.
And you get away. Where are you headed?
Back to the meeting point.
Back to the meeting point. Okay. You go a straight up direct north. You find yourself back on the route of the path that you took on the way in. And as you arrive, you find Nirali.
Randall,
Hello. I don't
did
like
you
this
find
place.
one?
Yeah, I've got one.
Me too.
I also found an old lady who's very, very angry with me. Like super pissed. I don't know. She must have been having a real bad day or something because she whipped me with a vine. Literally whipped me.
Right. She came for mine too, but I asked her to leave and she left.
Nah.
Did you try asking her to leave?
What? No, she seemed pretty determined.
Oh.
At first she was telling me she wanted to get some other herbs there, and then she just sort of like trying to yank the flower, and then I grabbed it and ran, and then she whipped me back, and then I ran a different way, and then I went to try and get the other one. And there's someone else there, or something else there. Was
that the one in the spirited wood?
Yeah, there's like I don't know. There was a lady already taking it, and I already had one. And then the forest lady turned up, and I was like, and so I left.
That's fair. We only needed one, right? We have two anyway.
I think so. Have you seen Oro?
No, I think we should go look for her.
What about Honu?
Oh.
On that note, you hear a strain of a tree and a couple of loud footsteps as Honu pushes himself through the tree line. Hello. How was our haul?
We got two between us.
So far.
Excellent. And he shows the blossom that he's got. That's a good haul so far. Wait, the plan was for you to run between two, correct? Did one not blossom?
The other one was unavailable by the time I was there.
For what reason? But it did blossom.
It was taken before I was there.
By who?
By some lady creature thing who I didn't want to tussle with.
A lady creature thing you did not want to tussle with?
Yes.
Are you not an adventurer?
I am, but I also know my limits. And we already have
your sense of adventure. Describe this creature.
Is the most beautiful lady I have ever seen. She had an aura around her that was just enticing. But
shit. You didn't eat anything that she gave you?
No.
That is Thistle. She is a she is an interesting creature. We trade on occasion. She is powerful, but she skirts the line. I consider myself a man of the people, and she is not of this world. So her whims, we are sometimes her playthings simply for fun. She will toy with us. Sometimes she may give with one hand and take with the other. She is a powerful ally, but I prefer not to deal with her. You made a good decision stepping away from her.
Sounds like it. Do you know a small lady who gets very angry and takes herself around in a tree.
Takes herself around in a tree.
Yeah, like she just appeared from a tree. Like a tree.
She left in a tree too. I'm gonna go check on Oro, and I like leave and head the
Oh, yeah,
direction that
yeah.
Oro went.
Dead in a ditch. Jeez, guys. God damn it.
Right, well, he follows you. He follows you. And this is now this conversation that we're having is as you walk in the direction of Oro. So describe her. So she rides a broom of some kind. You were saying?
No, she like. So a sapling appeared, and then it like opened, as she came out of the sapling. And then she picked it up, and it was a staff.
And she attacked you.
Yeah, she tried to whip me when I was running away with the flower to try and get to the other one.
And nearly you saw her too?
Said she knew you. She tried to buy the flower from me.
Cheeky bitch. Her name
He's
is
from the circus
Yanju.
too.
Yeah.
She is named Yanju. She is a competitor. She drives a hard bargain. I'm sure that the offer she gave you was very tempting.
Not really. We need this to make sure that Randall doesn't die, so money didn't really matter.
What did she offer you?
20 gold.
20 gold. She must not know that the price of adventuring has gone up. Either way, I'm glad that you decided to remain true to our agreement. For now, you will have your potion, and that is what we agreed. But let us hurry, as it surprises me we have not heard from the goblin. She seems competent.
She has many skills.
I'm sure there are many.
The turtle druid just boomered the old druid. Oh, I love it. Sorry, go ahead. I couldn't.
She is competent but small. That's the word that we should be counting. Tree line and making comments about how small Oro is. Those are the things we should be counting this game. I'm sure there are many things that would prey on her. Suddenly, the shape of a bat appears against the moon. I wish bats made caca noises because that would give us an excuse to use that more frequently. So, are you currently still chilling out with your bat friend?
Yeah, let's just say that we're just like having a like a game type of thing, or some type of like game we're playing. We're just like bonding.
Okay, bonding. Okay, so I'm gonna say that. I mean, you found some bark that came off of the tree as the bat landed, and you've been using it to like not frisbee, but like kind of a small version of catch, like like throwing it towards it, and it catches it in its mouth, and it brings it over to you, and it drops it in your lap. Except obviously this is a big bat, so it has been bounding around quite excitedly. You can see that now it seems to have forgotten almost about its leg. At times it does whimper a moment because it's noticed that it's landed on its foot in a way that it shouldn't have. But for the most part, it seems to be quite happy on the ground, enjoying your company. You guys arrive at the broken oak. You can see where the flower should be. You can see its stem. You can see that the blossom is not there.
Did they see me?
The clearing is empty. The clearing is empty. You've gone through some trees to go.
Okay, that's fine.
Oro?
You can hear them.
Oh, hi! On my back.
You alright?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Good.
I'm fine. So Oro like runs back with Bat, who's unnamed at the
With Bat.
moment.
Unnamed
Bat.
Oh, it's called Batany, surely.
Bat. We're
Batany.
making distinctions between this game and the other game. Keep them apart.
It is.
Don't
It's different.
pressure Jenny into a dumb name.
Bat for now. Bat for now. If we can think of another name that's also a pop princess, then I'll think about it. But but for now, Bat is fine.
Okay. Okay. So in the tree line, you see Oro pacing as she does. She comes out of the between two trunks. Her glorious hair pushed aside by all of the branches she's been going through. Batany spears. Oh my god, that is good shit. And after her is a relatively large looming shadow of some kind of creature in the trees behind her.
Look out.
There's something behind you.
Oh, no, it's fine. This is I don't have a name. I found a bat, and then I just opened for the bat to walk forward. I guess. Just it's fine. They're cool. We're pals now. I saved them. Oh, Batrina Grande. Oh my god.
Patriana Grande.
Batriana. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Baracko Batma.
Okay. Great suggestions, guys. I think we're gonna have to think about this for a week.
It's not gonna happen this second. If you have suggestions, put them in the D&D in the D&D
Yeah.
chat
Or in the
in Discord.
You saved it from what?
Well, I got the flower. And then I heard something fall down the trees. So I went to look, and it was a bat on the floor, and it had been hurt a little bit. And the eagle was being a mean boy, so I told him to caca, which means fuck off, by the way. So.
Is that circus?
Oh no, it's not a circus thing. It's just like an
Okay.
animal thing.
Right.
Separate, similar,
Okay.
separate.
She knows so many
It's
things.
just,
I'm very wise.
I love you guys.
You fixed it? It's you healed them?
Mostly, not completely, but mostly fine.
Oh yeah. Do you still need help?
Bat TS.
Bat TS.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Oh my god.
Neil Patrick Harris is really good.
Oh, these are excellent. Batty Eilish is also really good.
Yeah,
Ba-
good,
Old
yeah.
Batty Eilish is good.
Oh, oh
do
my
you
God.
do you need any help? I could try.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, where are they hurt?
It was a bit on the leg and a bit on the wing.
So I'll kind of start slowly walking over, making sure that they don't get scared or whatever.
Okay. If you're gonna cast, are you gonna cast some kind of healing spell, or
Yeah.
give me an animal handling check.
Okay.
Oro is the super cool friend you have in grade school that you're not sure where they live or if they are full of shit, but they know something about everyone and everything, and they're badasses. Okay, with the 21, and with the soothing presence of Oro being there, the bat does seem to tolerate your presence, and doesn't shrug you off or attack you when you get close, and you place your hands upon it. If you would like to cast your spell.
Yeah, I'll just do a level 1 cure wounds. See how it feels, or how it looks, I guess, afterwards. Big 7 points there.
Okay. Well, you can see that it some of the wounds that you can see on its wing, on the top of its wing, have sealed and bound together a little bit more. You can tell that it's still got a little bit of a limp, but it's possible that that's something that magic's gonna not do too much for. It looks like more of an injury than a wound, if you get what I mean. I imagine spraining your ankle using cure wounds probably wouldn't help that much with that. If you had to cut your ankle, however, it would. That's what I mean.
Okay.
As in my head canon, that's how it kind of works.
Okay.
Like,
So I shouldn't, because I haven't used a single spell today, and we're clearly going to be going to bed very soon. So if I think I could do it, then
you can give it a shot. I mean, there are other wounds that the bat has. That spell hasn't cured all the wounds.
okay, I'll do another one.
Yeah. The limp is permanent because it's cute.
Aw.
Oh no,
Okay.
an additional 7 points.
You can see that it's definitely looking in better health. And I mean, Oro. I mean, you can see that it's loosened up a little bit. Oro can definitely see without a doubt now that she's got, as of her recent experiences, you know, having leveled up to 3, she's a lot more comfortable and confident with her ability to communicate with animals. And she can, I mean, whereas you get the gist that you've done a good thing and the bat's probably looking a little bit better, Oro's like, oh, that was good stuff. Yeah, okay, bat's definitely looking better.
Thank you, Dorley. A lot better. So did you guys find the flower? Anything cool?
We each have one.
Yeah.
Sweet.
How long will it take to make the potion, Hanu?
I think a day. I will get it done tomorrow. Or today, rather, because it's now past midnight.
Thank you.
I will do it free of charge.
Well, good, because that's what we agreed on.
If you could give me the blooms that you have. He takes one.
It's the Hanu that came with us that's been standing next to us this whole time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait,
He's not
where
been
does this
replaced.
Hanu walk?
Everyone else happy to
Yeah.
give him the...
Nope.
You're not going to give
Oh
him the bloom?
no, I've made you suspicious. I'm sorry.
You only need the 1 bloom to make the potion, yes.
Correct, yes.
So I will give you this bloom tomorrow with the potion when you hand the potion over.
Roll a persuasion check to see whether or not he takes kind of offense at that that breach of trust.
Persuasion.
Potion first, blooms later.
Oh no.
Next. Okay, he seems taken aback by your suggestion. He accepts, but he doesn't seem happy about it. It just kind of looks like you've hurt his feelings a bit.
We only met this guy this morning.
Yeah,
And there seems to be a lot of competition for these blooms.
You've had
And
some
they seem
dodgy
to be
shit happen.
They seem to be very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
It would
fair.
surprise me if he turned around tomorrow and went, I never asked you to do anything. If I had done that, it would have done through a contract. Do you have a contract? No, we don't.
I think
Okay.
he's just.
I'm assuming you're not
worried.
saying that out loud directly to the face of Honey.
Oh.
Not all of it.
No. Would you like to re-say the bits that you...
Yeah, just we've had a lot of interesting encounters with people in the last 3 days, and I really would like to not die.
He points at the bloom, or in the direction of where he believes the bloom is. If it's not in your hand, if it's in your pocket, he's like, that is mine.
Yes.
And you are holding it hostage.
You'll get it when we get the potion. That's all. We're not gonna keep it. It's
I
just...
don't want my life to be held in the balance.
Very well. The walk back to town is awkward.
Good. Good.
But we will end the session there.
On that cliffhanger.
On the awkward NPC cliffhanger.
Just let him walk away first.
Like,
and then
this
we
is
walk
the
behind.
only session I've rolled well enough that I didn't need the inspiration. So just go away now, I guess. I'm like, I thought for sure my only +2 on that animal handling check was going to be like super low. And I was like, okay, I'll use it for this. And the trick is to give me an inspiration from chat and then I don't need it.
Right. Okay. Jenny, we'll talk.
Yes.
And the rest of you can bugger off. And for that, I mean, thanks for joining us, everybody. It's been a pleasure as always. Chat, you've been wonderful. I do genuinely enjoy our Sundays chilling together, and all of my players, all my pals, love you very much. Well done. I put you under a little bit of stress today, and it was good fun. But you did
I had a great time. Oro had a great time. Oh my.
Nothing wrong with Oro.
I had a nice stream and then got a bat. That's all that happened.
I don't know why every time I talk to someone they get angry. Thing that keeps happening.
Right. Fantastic. Oh, thanks, Yo. Yo, put it at. Whoa.
Please don't unfollow.
So we play every Sunday around the same time. So hopefully you'll stick around and we'll see you again sometime soon. I had a great time and got inspiration for the first time. You made a real funny.
You did good.
You made a real funny.
Did good.
Now
use it wisely.
You did
and
good.
remember you have it because we won't.
Please give it to me at some point.
No.
No.
You know he will. It's
yeah,
the DM vibes. I think that's why you. Yeah, of course. See, there it was.
Yeah, but now there's like a self-rewarding system here where every time he awards inspiration, to it comes straight back.
It's
to
gonna be
him.
a feedback loop where I just keep giving it
Corrupt,
Adam.
corrupt to its core system now.
Oh look, Adam showed up. He gets inspiration from here.
No, come on now.
I know.
Right.
Who are we gonna raid?
We should rate someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Prey. Damn, I just got in here. Well, I'm sorry to say you
no.
missed it, buddy. However, you'll be glad to know that these games are going up on YouTube.
Yep. Should be up tomorrow.
Woohoo! DM's gotta
So
stick
if,
together. I'm a DM. You could give it to me.
I'm here. You should give it to me. I'm sick. Give it to me.
Jenny is sick. Who we got? Who should we be rating?
Let's just having a look at this.
We're going for we should go for friends and like
That Rooney's old channel is live again.
the who?
Ooh.
The ones that we sorry, the one that we rated when we were looking for someone that one time.
Who?
That had
We've
the
rated them.
artist.
Yeah, we've rated them the past 2 times, I think.
Yes. We should spread the love.
There's a
Like
channel called Dragonmar who
Ooh.
playing Storm King's Thunder.
It's so hard to choose who you're gonna raid because they could be arseholes.
That's true. That's the chance you gotta take here.
Ooh. The
Listen.
thing I learned the hard way early on was to check the language and make sure, because I accidentally rated somebody who was like Italian one time who did not speak a lick of English, and so like all 30 of us came rolling in and couldn't understand anything that was going on, and I was like, oh, like we're not leaving because you're not nice, we just have no clue what's happening. Sorry.
I've
Hey.
got mine filtered by English, I think.
They're an 18+ stream, so if you're not 18 or plus, then
Get out.
yeah. Also, this is an 18+
Then
stream
see you
technically.
later.
So we shouldn't be here. All right. See you next
See ya.
week. Next week. Yeah.
Next week.
Next week.
Uh,
Hopefully my voice
yeah.
will be normal then. Goodbye.
Bye.